Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Whitaker Bank Ballpark. This is the Battle of the Bourbon Trail. Tonight, the Legends square off against the Florence Freedom in Game 1 of a 3-game series. I'm Andrew Murphy with you, bringing you all the action right here on PrepSpin.com and the Legends Broadcast Network. Here are the lineups for the visiting Florence Freedom. Leading off and playing first base is Craig Massey. Batting second and playing second base, Simon Whiteman. Batting third, the third baseman, Chad Cedillo. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Logan Wyatt. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, Tyler Fitzgerald. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Cesar Trejo. Batting seventh, the right fielder, E.P. Reese. Batting eighth, the center fielder, Austin Riggins. And batting ninth, handling the catching tonight for the Freedom, is Lucas Owens. Now we'll look around the field from left to right in the outfield for the Legends. Eric Young Jr. is in left field, Ben Revere in center field, Matt Winokur in right. Around the horn from third to first, Drew Ellis is at the hot corner at third. Devin Hairston playing shortstop, Brandon Phillips back at second this evening, and Ivan DeJesus Jr. at first base. Catching balls and strikes is Dalton Cornett, and throwing balls and strikes this evening is the righty Spencer Bivens. Bivens, the 6'5", 205-pound right-hander out of State College, Pennsylvania, attended State College High School and Rogers State University. He's 1-1 on the season, and through 9 2/3 innings, he's given up 9 hits, 7 runs, 3 of them earned with 7 walks and 10 strikeouts. He's posted an ERA of 2.79. And he'll face off against the leadoff man for the Florence Freedom. That's the first baseman, Craig Massey. Sun is shining, virtually no clouds here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. 74 degrees. And Bivens comes set with the first pitch. Here it is to Massey. It's a fastball outside, 1-0. Time of the first pitch is 6:49 p.m. Got winds coming out of the gap between left and third base. That's a called strike on the inside, 1-1 to Craig Massey. Righty-lefty matchup to get things started. And the 1-1. It's an off-speed, misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. Spencer Bivens in his last appearance, that was on August 29th at Florence versus the Freedom, through 4 2/3 innings with 5 hits, 5 runs, only 1 of those earned. And that one's fouled back to the screen. It's 2-2. He walked 3 batters and struck out 5. So Bivens with a decent outing his last time on the hill. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Craig Massey, the pitch. There's a fastball missed high, and the count fills up at 3-2. Those winds are a-blowing. Quite breezy out here tonight. The payoff. Called strike 3, down and outside. There's strikeout number 1 for Spencer Bivens to get us started here in the top of the first. Craig Massey sits down. Filled up the count, got the call with the outside fastball. Nicked the corner downstairs. So 1 away, nobody on the bags, as the righty Simon Whiteman, the second baseman, steps into the batter's box. Slight shift of the infield to the left as the first pitch, a fastball, misses down and away to Whiteman. It's 1-0. Devin Hairston playing on the grass of shallow left center, or left field rather, and that one's taken outside for a strike to even up the count at 1-1. Righty-righty matchup now. Whiteman with a slightly open, narrow stance in towards the plate, the 1-1. Called strike 2. Got him with that off-speed, down and away. So a ball and 2 strikes to Whiteman. Ellis, the third baseman, playing close to the foul line, but behind the bag. The 1-2 swung on a grounder left side. It's scooped up on the run by Ellis, and he sets and throws to first. And there's out number 2. That ball was shot in between Hairston at short and Ellis at third. Ellis took a great route to the ball, picked it up, made it look easy on the run, and flipped it over to the covering DeJesus Jr. at first. And so 2 down now here in the top of the first. No score with nobody on the bags, and Chad Cedillo sets up on the left side. The first pitch to him is a fastball. Misses outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Florence Freedom were last in Lexington on the 27th, and this one is shot right back at Bivens. It pops out of his glove. Phillips going to have to hustle to pick it up on the infield grass, but by the time he did, Cedillo was already aboard at first. So the first hit of the night there, a little weak line drive back to the pitcher Bivens. It just sort of sat there in the infield grass waiting for somebody to come in on it, but as I mentioned, by the time Phillips got there, Cedillo had already crossed the bag. So Cedillo aboard. DeJesus Jr. sets a target as the third baseman takes a step off the bag, and the first pitch to Logan Wyatt. A breaker misses down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Legends donned in the classic home white uniforms with the blue lettering and the stash caps. 1-0. Line foul down the third base line, pops off the front of one of the suites, and it lands into the stands. Florence Freedom sporting their away uniforms, the black front and back with the red shoulders, the gray pants this evening. 1-1. Off-speed misses up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cedillo ahead in the count. Hairston over towards the second base bag now. Ellis followed him a few steps to his left. 2-1 misses up and away. It's 3 balls and a strike to Logan Wyatt. Righty-lefty matchup. Wyatt with a straightaway stance in towards the plate. In the back of the box, this is swung on, grounded to Phillips at second. Now it's down to one knee, makes the grab and the throw over to first, and the side is retired. So the Freedom put their first hit on the board, but Chad Cedillo is stranded along the base paths. No score after a half an inning of play. Legends up to bat with Ben Revere, Eric Young Jr., and Ivan DeJesus Jr. Get the rest of the lineups. Look in the field for the Florence Freedom. Get your pitcher Drew Rahm for the Freedom. When baseball returns in just a moment right here on Prep Spin and the Legends Broadcast Network. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, we are scoreless after half an inning of play. Freedom were put down in 4 at-bats. So we head to the bottom of the first. Here are your lineups for the home team Lexington Legends. Leading off playing center field is Ben Revere. Eric Young Jr. plays in left field and bats second. Ivan DeJesus Jr. at first, he bats third. Batting fourth, the second baseman Brandon Phillips. Batting fifth and playing third, Drew Ellis. Batting sixth, the DH, Nick Akins. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Matt Winokur. Dalton Cornett bats eighth and handles the catching tonight. Batting ninth and playing short is Devin Hairston. There are your lineups for the home team Lexington Legends. And now look at the defense for the Florence Freedom. Cesar Trejo in left field, Riggins in center, E.P. Reese in right. From third to first around the horn, Cedillo at third, Fitzgerald at short, Whiteman at second, and Massey at first. Owens taking balls and strikes from Drew Rahm. Drew Rahm, the lefty, facing the lefty Ben Revere, who readies up slowly in the batter's box. Rahm from the windup, and now the first pitch to Revere. It's a fastball that missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes. And the 1-0 pitch to Revere. There's another inside fastball. He wants the back door with that one, but missed again. 2 balls, no strikes to Revere, who last night went 1 for 5 with a run and a strikeout. The 2-0 pitch. Curveball. Found the outer half of the plate, 2 balls and a strike. Revere coming into tonight's game batting .304. 2-1 is taken high and inside for a ball. 3-1 hitters count to get things started here for Revere. Revere leading the team in quite a few offensive categories. Leads in hits with 28 of those, 29 runs, 17 RBIs. He takes one up and in near his chest, ducks away, and it's a 5-pitch walk for the leadoff man, Ben Revere, who will have another chance to show off his offensive prowess, but for now remains at first base. Drew Rahm on the mound. This is his, the last time we saw him here. He went 3 innings, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs, both of which were earned. He walked 3 and struck out 3. So a decent outing for Drew Rahm his last time at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. He's throwing for the Yalls. First pitch to Eric Young Jr. is taken for a strike, down and away, no balls and a strike. Young Jr. had the fireworks going last night when he hit a grand slam. That was his first home run in a Legends uniform. 0-1. This is poked down the right field line. It's just fair. Rolls into the corner. Revere rounding the second base bag on his way to third. He's rounding there as the ball is picked up in the corner and gunned into the cutoff, but there's an RBI double for Eric Young Jr. So Revere jumped early on that pitch. He knew Young was going to make contact with it, and he surely did. Blooped it all the way to the corner, actually, in right field. By the time it dropped, Ben Revere was pretty much already rounding the second base bag, and as Reese picked it up and threw it in, it was cut off by the second baseman, Whiteman. And by then, Revere was already about 10 feet away from home plate. So Eric Young puts the Ben Revere scores the first run, driven in by Eric Young Jr., who's at scoring position in second base. 1-0 Legends here in the bottom of the first. Here's Ivan DeJesus, takes a first pitch low and away, nicked the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Ivan DeJesus Jr., part of a press conference earlier today that involved Eric Young Jr., Ben Revere, Brandon Phillips. 0-1. There's a low fastball. Missed just a touch. 1 ball and 1 strike. DeJesus Jr. Righty facing the lefty, Drew Rahm. Rahm is no stranger to Whitaker Bank Ballpark, has played for the Delmarva Shorebirds of the South Atlantic League in 2019. 1-1 taken outside on the corner for strike 2. Rahm posted pretty good numbers in 2019 with Delmarva. Went 6-3, posting a .293 ERA. In 95 1/3 innings, he gave up 83 hits, 36 runs, struck out 122 while only walking 33. 1-2. DeJesus takes outside on that off speed to even things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. DeJesus Jr. also no stranger to Whitaker Bank Ballpark, as he was a bat boy a long time ago when his dad was the manager of the Lexington Legends. Both he and his dad have spent time in the major leagues. As Rom steps off the rubber as time is called. DeJesus Jr. is just happy to be back here. A lot has changed since he was last here. But he's enjoying putting on the same uniform his father wore years ago. 2-2 misses outside, so the count is full at 3-2. Tried to nick that outer half of the plate with the curveball, but missed. Nobody out. Eric Young Jr. is on second base. He hit a double to the right field corner to bring in Ben Revere, and our score is 1-0 Legends here in the bottom of the first. The open stance to Jesus waits. The 3-2 is chopped up over the pitcher's head. Whiteman with the glove on it on the hop, and a throw to first will retire DeJesus. Young advanced to third on the fielder's choice. So a 4-3 ground out advances Eric Young Jr. to third. He's 90 feet away from home, and here's Brandon Phillips. A guy like Brandon Phillips, you know, if you've been following the Legends since he got here a few weeks ago, at his age of 39, he still has so much fun with the game. That's what 16 years in the major leagues does to you, though. The first pitch to him is taken outside. 1 ball, no strikes. No balls and 1 strike, rather. Home plate umpire Marvin King making the call. Cedric Coleman is out in the field. Phillips, the righty, facing the lefty Rom, who comes set. Owen setting up low and outside. And the 0-1 pitch. That misses a touch and evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Phillips hit a home run in last night's game. It was a 2-run shot. And that was his 5th home run on the season. He leads the Legends in batting average at .394, 1-1. Off speed taken down and in, 2 balls and a strike to Phillips. 8 total home runs were hit last night by the combined forces of the Legends and the Leyendas in that game 2 of the 2-game series here between the 2 Lexington teams. Cole Sturgeon, who's playing for the Leyendas tonight in Florence, hit 2 solo shots. The 2-1 to Phillips. This is poked over the reaching glove of the first baseman Massey. It rolls into right field, and Phillips is aboard with a 1-out single, scoring Eric Young Jr. And so the Legends move their lead to 2-0. So there's an RBI for Brandon Phillips, his 13th on the season, with Eric Young Jr. coming around to score his 6th run of the season. Nice little opposite field bloop shot to right field. Puts Brandon Phillips on first base, and now Drew Ellis, the third baseman, readies up on the right side. No bend in the knees in his straightaway stance as he takes up and away, 1 ball and no strikes. But Ellis had a home run as well in last night's game. It was a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 4th, driving in himself and Brandon Phillips, who's aboard at first. The lefty Rom fires the 1-0. Breaking ball, tried to paint the outer half, but missed. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Drew Ellis, the product of the University of Louisville, was the 2nd-round pick by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the 2017 draft. Last played for the Jackson Generals of the Southern League. Double-A as he takes a cut and misses at a low breaking ball. 2 balls and a strike. Brandon Phillips on first. 1 man gone here in the bottom of the first. Legends up 2-0 on the Freedom. Eric Young Jr. came around to score on the Brandon Phillips single. Ben Revere was brought in by the Eric Young Jr. double. So Ellis waits patiently for the 2-1 pitch, and here it is. Breaking ball, missed high and away, now 3 balls and a strike. Ellis's total line score last night reads 2 for 4 with a run, 2 RBIs, and a home run. He hit his 5th home run last night in addition to Phillips. The 3-1. That's taken upstairs for a 5-pitch walk to Drew Ellis. That'll advance Brandon Phillips to second base. Put yet another runner in scoring position for the Legends. As time is called, Brandon Phillips rounded the second base bag and darted to the third base bag jokingly. So as Owens heads back to his rightful position behind home plate after exchanging a few words with the hurler Drew Rom, Akins loosens himself up in the box on the right side. Now Akins last night went 1 for 4 with a single and a strikeout, but the night before, in the first game between the Legends and Leyendas, hit a 2-run shot to left field, and he takes a first pitch curveball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Our score is 2-0 Legends here in the bottom of the first. Akins, straightaway shoulder width stance, in towards the plate, back corner of the box. The 1-0 pitch to him. Taken outside for a strike. That was a changeup thrown by Drew Rom. And the count evens up at 1 apiece. Rom gives Owens the nod, now comes set. And the 1-1. Taken outside, a fastball up and away. 90 miles an hour on the gun from Rom to move the count to a hitter's 2-1. Akins, the 19th round pick by the Dodgers in 2009. Righty facing the lefty Rom, who peeps back at the runner, now throws the 2-1. It is a bloop shot to shallow right field. The second baseman Whiteman came in on it and made the catch to retire Akins and hold Phillips and Ellis at second and first, respectively. So Akins pops up, and that'll bring up Matt Winokur, the right fielder. Winokur, the New York Mets prospect, walked and scored last night, going 0 for 3 on a couple of pop-outs and 1 ground out. Hunched over on the left side in a slightly open stance. Rom looking at Phillips, is teasing a steal, and the first pitch to Winokur, a curveball, is hung just above the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Two nothing Legends with 2 gone and 2 men on here in the bottom of the first. Winokur, the lefty, readies up, as does Drew Rom, the 1-0. This is lifted foul over the rooftop behind home plate to even things up at a ball and a strike. Great crowd on hand here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. A beautiful Friday night, 72 degrees here in Lexington. What more could you ask for? One ball and 1 strike to Winokur. Rom kicks and deals. Fastball taken up and in. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Winokur at the plate. Calls Walnut Creek, California, his hometown. The 24-year-old attended Stanford, home of the Cardinal. He People often confuse it with the Cardinals. It's not plural, it's singular. For whatever reason. 2-1 on the way. Take it inside, an off-speed pitch. Into the back door for strike 2. 2's all across the board to Matt Winokur. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. Winokur hitting .301 on the season in 104 plate appearances. One of a few legends on this roster to break that 100 plate appearance mark. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The offering from Rahm. This is poked foul down the left field line, and it'll drop into the stands. So Rahm stepping off the rubber to readjust. Toes the belt once more. And he's discussing things with his catcher, Owens. They agree on things. And a 2-2 to Winokur. Swung on and grounded weakly back up the middle. Whiteman with the glove on it. As it rolls into right center field, Phillips comes home to score. Ellis, as he was coming into the second base bag, hopped over that weak ground ball that may have gotten in the way of Simon Whiteman fielding the ball, and so the Freedom manager out to discuss things with Cedric Coleman in the field. But Brandon Phillips did come around to score, and they will count it, assuming there is no interference call here on that weak ground ball up the middle. Didn't look like an interference to me. He definitely wasn't in the way of Whiteman. Whiteman more so looked like he hesitated as Ellis hopped over the ball and made it into the second base bag. So Cedric Coleman and Marvin King will discuss things down the first base line. It was a weak ground ball up the middle. It caught itself in a bad place between Simon Whiteman, the second baseman, and Drew Ellis, the runner heading from first to second. And so Ellis is called out on an interference call. And so we head to the top of the second inning. Legends up 3-0 on the Freedom. Baseball back in a moment. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark, Legends up 2-0 on the Florence Freedom as Drew Ellis was called out on an obstruction call as he hopped over the baseball, interfering with Simon Whiteman's ability to field properly. It wasn't intentional, of course, but the first pitch to the leadoff man here in the top of the second, Fitzgerald, is fouled away. So Brandon Phillips came around the third base bag to score, but that run was later taken away and a swing and a miss at the 0-1. So Legends up 2-0. Bivens beginning his second inning of work, and he deals the 0-2. Swung on, foul to the screen, and the count will sit at 0-2. To Tyler Fitzgerald, the shortstop. Fitzgerald, the righty, adding a straightaway stance near the plate on the right side. 0-2. Popped up in the air to shallow center field. Phillips calls off Hairston, sets up shop, and Rawhide meets him in, one away. So some good communication by Brandon Phillips. Committed to the catch, set up, and put away Tyler Fitzgerald. One gone, nobody on. Here at the top of the second, and here's Cesar Trejo. Trejo has played in this ballpark before as he spent some time with the West Virginia Power in the South Atlantic League, and he takes an off-speed pitch down and away for strike one. The 0-1 from Bivens. Fastball. Tried to nick the lower third, but missed. One's all across the board to Trejo. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 away. Bivens deals. It is chopped just foul down the third base line. Ellis was going after it. It skipped past him, so if it was fair, Trejo definitely would have seen extra bases. So a ball and 2 strikes now on that foul ball hit into by Trejo. E.P. Reese waiting on deck for the Florence Freedom. Bivens working from the windup as Trejo digs back in. Bivens kicks back, kicks up, and fires the 1-2. It's fouled back to the screen, and the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Lights have been turned on here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark as the sun begins to set. Two nothing Legends here in the top of the second with one man out, nobody on the bases. 1-2. Trejo lines this one to left center field. Revere heading back makes the catch for out number 2. So Revere had to move to his right, take a few steps back. A great read on that hard hit line drive to left center field and put Trejo away. So 2 outs in a row here in the top of the second as E.P. Reese makes his way into the box. Left-handed hitter facing the righty Bivens. Bivens has only given up 1 hit and struck out 1 batter. He deals a changeup right down the middle. No balls and 1 strike to Reese. Bivens deals. Fastball missed outside. Now even counted a ball and a strike. Weak fly ball to Jesus at first, who throws onto the covering Bivens. The throw wasn't in time. E.P. Reese popped it up with some hang time and got the Jets turning from the crack of the bat. By the time DeJesus stepped away from the first base bag and gloved it, Either Bivens didn't get to the bag in time or Reese simply got there too quickly. So he's aboard with a single, the second hit of the night for the Florence Freedom. Tough play there to make from DeJesus Jr. and Spencer Bivens. Working from the stretch now, facing the righty Riggins, and a pickoff move to first. Reese slides back into the bag. Legends up 2-0 on the Freedom here in the top of the second inning. Austin Riggins, the righty, in a narrow straightaway stance on the back corner of the box, in towards the plate. Bivens delivers a curveball, missed the outside corner, tried to get him to chase low. He wouldn't bite, and it's a ball and no strikes. I think Reese is rocking the red and white checkered Florence Yalls themed mask. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase on the outside that time. Instead of a breaker, hit him with a fastball, and that evens up the count of the ball and a strike. It looks like a red and white mask or a gator of some sort with the checkerboard pattern. Here's a quick pickoff back to first, and E.P. Reese able to read Bivens there and safely return to the bag. That threw me off. The 1-1. Well inside on a fastball upstairs, made Riggins dance for it. 2 balls and a strike now to the righty. Bivens looking in to Cornett, who appeared to have pulled something late in the game last night. 2-1, runner goes, swing and a miss. That pitch was low, but no throw down to second from the catcher Cornett, as E.P. Reese has a stolen base, but the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Reese digs back in. It's the bat, a big old spin. His time is called. Reese to step out. Bivens grabbed the rosin bag. The back of the mound and to his right. Now Reddy's up. Glove perched above his knee. He comes set now, keeping a close eye on Reese at second. No coverage at the bag. The 2-2. Taken high for a ball to fill up the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Greetings and well wishes to Pedro Figueroa. I believe that's how you pronounce it. He's watching from Puerto Rico. Thanks for tuning in, Pedro. We appreciate you watching on Prep Spin and the Legends Broadcast Network. Legends up 2-0, payoff, and a breaker misses down and away to Austin Riggins. And he's aboard on a walk. Marlene Horn, a friend of Ben Revere's, watching from New Jersey. Marlene, greetings to you. So Lucas Owens at the very bottom of the order for the Freedom steps in. Left-handed hitter facing the righty Bivens. Comes set, glove at the chest. Calls for coverage from Hairston, who backs off. Now the first pitch to Owens, taken inside for a strike on a fastball. It's 0-1. Legends up 2-0 on the Freedom with 2 gone and 2 men on the bags here in the top of the second. Bivens fires the 0-1. Fastball missed outside. 92 on the gun from Bivens. Owens tightly straps his batting gloves, digs back in now, opens up his stance. Bivens comes set with one he likes from Cornett, and now deals the 1-1. Fastball missed in the dirt. A worm killer there, moving the count to 2-1. Bivens gives Cornett the nod. And the offering. Shot foul over the rooftop down the third base line. And that'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bivens looking for an out pitch here. Let's see what he deals. Fires the 2-2. Fastball missed up and in. Tried to get him to pull the hands back. And try and drive that one. That might not be the most effective pitch for a guy like Owens who likes to stand close in towards the plate. So the count is full at 3-2, and the pitch. Runners go. Outside breaking ball. Taken for ball 4. It's 2 walks in a row. This one to Lucas Owens. Austin Riggins advances to second. And E.P. Reese is aboard at third. So Ducks on the pond with 2 gone. Bivens looking to pitch out of this one as he'll have to face the the man at the top of the order for the Freedom, Craig Massey. Candace Collette says, glad to see Dalton Cornett back in action tonight. As are we, Candace. Thank you for tuning in. Swing and a miss at the first one. A fastball up and in. 0-1. Aaron Ransdell watching from Antarctica. Oh, wow, I'm honored. Be listened to by one of the 57 people that live down there. Aaron, thanks for tuning in. 0-1 is a fly ball. This is hit up and over the rooftop behind home plate. So the count moves to 0-2 for Craig Massey. Craig Massey is 0 for 1 tonight, rather. He struck out looking to lead things off in the first. See if Bivens can do it again. 0-2 on the way. So shot foul, high in the air down the left field line, and it'll land just over the bleachers. Or over the stands, rather. If it landed over the bleachers, then we would have a problem. 2-0 Legends here in the top of the second. Bivens looking to get out of this one with Ducks on the pond. 0-2. One's way in towards Massey's head. He ducked away, he bent away from that one, rather. And the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bivens carefully selecting his 1-2 pitch. He comes set and delivers. This is chopped to the left side. Ellis with a beat on it, sets and fires to first. A powerful 5-3 ground out. Strands the Freedom along the base paths and ends the inning. So the Legends still up 2-0. They look to extend that lead in the bottom of the second, showing Dalton Cornett, Devin Hairston, and Ben Revere. Baseball back in a few moments on the Legends Broadcast Network. Welcome back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Andrew Murphy with you on the mic as the Legends are up on the Freedom 2-0. Dalton Cornett, the catcher, will lead things off here in the bottom of the second. Drew Rom still on the mound, delivers the first one. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. Dalton Cornett, the lefty, facing the lefty Rom, who deals the 1-0. It's a fastball, a little lower this time, found the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike. Cornett in last night's game went 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout, the 1-1 on the way. Off speed. Like some movement there, found the outer half of the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cornett batting .286 coming into tonight's game. And the 1-2. Another off-speed pitch, missed the outer half, and that'll even things up at 2-2 to Dalton Cornett. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded softly to Whiteman at second, who scoops it up and sidearms to first, 1 away. So Cornett is retired on the 4-3 ground out, and that'll bring up Devin Hairston. Devin Hairston, the native of Lexington, attended Tates Creek High School, home of the Commodores. He readies up. Righty-lefty matchup now. Rom from the windup with the first pitch. It's an outside fastball taken for a strike. Hairston in last night's game went 1 for 3 with 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Both of them on a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th. 0-1, another fastball, doubled up, same place on the outside corner. Nothing in 2 to Hairston. That was Hairston's 4th home run last night. That gave the Legends some insurance runs late in the game. Check swung on a fastball upstairs, and he went around, says Marvin King at home plate. So a 3-strike punch out to Devin Hairston. He bats the breeze. That's the first strikeout on the evening for Drew Rom. And out number 2 here in the bottom of the second. So the Legends back at the top of their order. Ben Revere, the center fielder, steps into the box on the left side. Third baseman Cedillo playing in towards the infield grass. Rom comes forward with the first pitch. It's fouled softly over the netting. And somebody in a rowdy crowd to the left of me picked up the ball. That's the Epsilon Omicron chapter of Beta Theta Pi from the University of Kentucky. About 60 of them showed up tonight, and we're glad they're here. 0-1. One misses outside for a ball, 1-1. Beta Theta Pi at UK happens to be my old chapter. So I know a lot of these guys who, on a yearly basis, a lot of service to the community and put on great philanthropy events. Very active on UK's campus. The 1-1 is inside for a ball, 2 balls and a strike. 2-0 Legends here in the bottom of the second with 2 gone, nobody on. The lefty Revere looks at a 2-1 count in the pitch. This is poked to left field, a fly ball. Trejo coming underneath. He makes the catch on the run to retire the side. So after 2 innings of play, Legends up 2-0 on the Freedom, who come back up to bat in the top of the third with Simon Whiteman, Chad Cedillo, and Logan Wyatt when baseball returns in just a few moments on the Legends Broadcast Network. Welcome back into Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Andrew Murphy with you as we head into the top of the third inning. Legends just went down in order, and that'll bring up Simon Whiteman, the second baseman, to lead things off for the Freedom. Spencer Bivens back on the mound, has given up 2 hits, and he deals the first pitch, a fastball down and away, taken for strike 1. Bivens, as I said, has given up 2 hits, no runs yet, but he's walked 2 batters and struck out 1. The 0-1 pitch. Lifted high in the air, trailing towards straightaway center field. Revere sets up shot near the wall, makes the catch, 1 away. Scary looking fly ball, a major league pop-up for sure for the second baseman Whiteman. Didn't have the distance on it to go yard, and Revere puts him away at the track. So Legends up 2-0 here in the top of the third with 1 away, nobody on the bags, and the lefty Chad Cedillo sets up in the box. Bivens with the first pitch. Low fastball, nicks the bottom of the zone. No balls and a strike. Cedillo is 1 for 1 this evening. He singled in the first. Chopper foul down the first base line will move the count to 0-2. Lefty taps the dish, perches the bat above his left shoulder. Bivens kicks back, kicks up, and fires the 0-2. It's a waste pitch fastball up and away. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Bivens on 2 strikes, been known to throw the fastball, but to lefties tries inside. Went out that time, and a curveball. Got Cedillo to swing and miss, down and away. There's strikeout number 2 for Bivens, and out number 2 here in the top of the third. So a beautifully placed curveball on the low outside corner. Retired Chad Cedillo. 2 gone. Here's Logan Wyatt. Takes a first pitch fastball up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Wyatt is 0 for 1, grounded into a 4-3 putout his first time up in the first, the 1-0. It's a shot foul over the rooftops down the third base line, and the lefty looks at a 1-1 count. Logan Wyatt, 6'4", 230 pounds. The 1-1 called strike 2 on a changeup down and away. Wyatt, 6'4", 230 pounds, from Louisville, Kentucky. Bivens working from straight away. Keeping out from behind his dark brown glove. He kicks back, kicks up, and deals the 1-2. Swung on and missed, a low curveball. There's strikeout number 3 and 2 in a row for Spencer Bivens. Puts the Freedom down in order. And the Legends still up 2-0. We head to the bottom of the third. Eric Young Jr., Ivan DeJesus, and Brandon Phillips will come up to bat when baseball returns in just a few moments. Legends up 2-0. Back inside Whitaker Bank Ballpark as the Legends hold a 2-0 lead over the Freedom heading into the bottom of the third inning. Spencer Bivens put away the Freedom in order in the top of the third, ending things with 2 strikeouts in a row, one to Chad Cedillo and the final to Logan Wyatt. He's got 3 strikeouts on the night. Drew Rahm starting his third inning of work. He deals the first pitch to Eric Young Jr., and it's a fastball up and away, taken for a ball. Eric Young Jr. doubled and scored his first time up in the first inning. Righty readies up, knees bent, hunched over stance. 1-0, hit high in the air to shallow left field. The shortstop Fitzgerald has a read on it. He makes the catch, 1 away. So Fitzgerald came all the way from his position at shortstop to about near the foul line in shallow left field and put away Young Jr. And that'll bring up Ivan DeJesus Jr., the first baseman. Infield playing straight away, as is the outfield. Nobody on the base paths as the righty DeJesus Jr. digs in on the right side. Slight stagger in the stance, and the first pitch from Rahm is a fastball right down Main Street, taken for a strike. DeJesus Jr. 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded into a 4-3 put out in the first, the 0-1. It's an off-speed, missed down and in. And the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. DeJesus Jr. came into tonight's contest batting .333. He was 1 for 4 last night versus the Leyendas, going 1 for 4 with a run, a single, and 2 strikeouts, the 1-1. Check swing on a breaking ball low and away. Cedric Coleman in the field says he did not go around, and the count moves to 2-1 in Ivan DeJesus' favor. Rahm with the 2-1 offering. It's a fastball, missing high. 3 balls and a strike now to DeJesus. DeJesus Jr. was the second-round pick by the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2005. And he has 4 years of Major League experience, 2 of which he spent in Cincinnati. 3-1. Check swung on one in the dirt. It's a 5-pitch walk to DeJesus as he did not go around. So DeJesus is aboard at first on a walk dealt to him by Drew Rahm. That's the 3rd walk of the night from Drew Rahm. He's only struck out 1 batter. He's given up 2 hits and 2 runs, both of which were earned. 2-0 Legends with 1 away here in the bottom of the third, and here is Brandon Phillips, the second baseman. He's got a very active stance, violently waving the bat above his right shoulder. Runner goes on the first pitch. It's low, and the throw down to second. Not in time. DeJesus slid in safely. And the count moves to 1-0 on Brandon Phillips. That's Ivan DeJesus' 3rd stolen base on the season. Got an early jump on that slow-moving first pitch that missed the zone down and in. Phillips with a 1-0 count now. Knees bent, slightly hunched over on the right side. He's playing in towards home plate. Ron the lefty deals. Outside fastball taken for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Phillips. Moving in and then out. Keeping things low with Brandon Phillips. You don't want to hang anything to him, especially with a runner on second base. Rahm with the 1-1. It's a curveball. Missed low and in again. 2 balls and a strike. So inside, outside, inside have been the offerings so far from Drew Rom to Brandon Phillips. Tough hitter to face here. Had a 2-run shot last night. That was his 5th home run, and the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Outside fastball. Foul tip, rather, into Owen's glove. But regardless, the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. He was swinging for the fences there, my goodness. Threw him off his balance a little bit, but he sets back up. Stance just beyond shoulder width. Drew Rom working from the stretch, and he deals the 2-2. Breaker missed low and away. Phillips thought he struck out there. But he'll live to see another pitch as the count moves to 3-2. 2-0 Legends with 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. Rom comes set, glove at the waist. Front foot staggered as he peeps back and now delivers the 3-2. It's poked foul over the rooftop down the first base line. Rom now back on the rubber as he looks into Owens for a sign. Gives him the nod. He's keeping a close eye on DeJesus at second base. Now the payoff to Phillips. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Phillips bats the breeze, 2 gone. Phillips saw a fastball up and away. Not a bad pitch at all thrown by Rom, easily controllable. Away from one of Phillips' best hitting areas is the first pitch to Drew Ellis. Finds the zone outside for strike 1. 2-0 Legends here in the bottom of the 3rd. And the 0-1. It's a high fastball taken for ball 1. Ellis was walked his first time up. That was in the bottom of the 1st inning. He was called out on an obstruction. Now running into the second base bag. He hopped over the baseball that was weakly grounded to the second baseman, Whiteman. And the officials deemed it an obstruction. 1-1. Off speed misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. DeJesus with a short lead off the second base bag. There's nobody there to which Rom can throw. He now comes set, working from the stretch. Peeks back at second, now comes forward with the 2-1. Called strike 2 on the outer half of the plate. Curveball there, bent into the lower 3rd of the zone nicely. And the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 gone, Drew Ellis, the righty, at the plate. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Ellis bats the breeze. 2 strikeouts in a row to end things for Drew Rom. Stranding DeJesus on second base. Legends still have a 2-0 lead over the Freedom, who come back up to the plate in the top of the 4th with Tyler Fitzgerald, Cesar Trejo, and E.P. Reese. Baseball back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Tyler Fitzgerald, the Freedom shortstop, leads things off here in the top of the fourth as the Freedom are down 2-0 against the Legends. Bivens beginning his fourth inning of work. It was the first pitch. It's up and in, taken for a ball. Fitzgerald is 0 for 1. He flied out to second base to lead things off in the second. 1-0 is a hard hit fly ball to right center field. It gets down in between Winokur and Revere. Fitzgerald heading to second as Winokur picks it up at the track and guns it into Phillips, who cuts it off. And so a leadoff double for Tyler Fitzgerald here to start things in the fourth. So here is Cesar Trejo as Bivens toes the rubber to look in towards Cornett. Cornett flashing signs. And Bivens gives him the nod. Now deals the first one. It's a called strike one on a breaking ball, low and away. Bivens rocking the flow. Is emerging from the back of his green mustache cap. As the 0-1 skips away from the catcher Cornett, Fitzgerald advances to third. The flow especially seems to be a pretty popular look among pitchers, especially in the major leagues. Noah Syndergaard, the first player that comes to my mind. Talk about long hair. Dustin May for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Jacob deGrom, another New York Met. Ball and a strike now to Trejo on that pitch that skipped away to the right of Cornett, and the 1-1. Called strike two. Got him on the low outside corner again, this time with the fastball. Trejo readjusts, now steps back in. Gives the bat a spin and wields it just in front of his right shoulder. 1-2. Just slapped into right field territory. It's drifting foul and way over the party deck. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Party deck is a popular spot, especially tonight and Thursdays. Thirsty Thursdays, to be exact. Presented by Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. Get your beer here, dirt cheap, thanks to the outstanding folks at Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. Drink specials on Thursdays are domestic cans at $2 and Kentucky Ale products at $3. 1-2. Sails past Trejo high. It's taken for a ball, moving the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trejo is 0 for 1 tonight, flied out to center field back in the second. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. If he had lowered his swing a touch, he would have hit that ball far. He was swinging for the fences. But he goes down swinging. That's strikeout number 4 for Spencer Bivens. And out number 1 here in the top of the fourth. Tyler Fitzgerald is 90 feet from home plate. He got there on the passed ball that skipped away to the right of Dalton Cornett. Here's E.P. Reese, a lefty. Righty Bivens working from the stretch. Deals the first pitch. It's fouled behind home plate, 0-1. E.P. Reese in right field tonight for the Freedom. So take a half a practice swing outside of the box. Squares himself up now, opening up his stance in toward the plate. His Cornet comes set low and outside. That one's way over his head, and a run will score. Cornet got there pretty quickly, but Bivens came into cover, and Cornet tossed the ball over the head of the sliding shortstop Fitzgerald, who came in to score the first run of the game for the Freedom. It's now a one-run game. Legends up 2-1. So Fitzgerald came in on that wild pitch. It was well high and outside, and Cornet couldn't put the glove on it. 1-1 to Reese. Swing and a miss on an inside changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So there's the first run of the night given up by Spencer Bivens. The 1-2. Swung on, just barely tipped foul. Rolled to the backstop. Lights coming into a fuller effect here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark as the sun continues its slow descent. Great crowd on hand here for a Friday night. Bivens working from straight away now with nobody on the bags, and the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the curveball that bent into the lower third. Strikeout number 5 for Spencer Bivens. E.P. Reese goes down swinging, 2 gone. Bivens has liked to use that curveball low as his out pitch, especially to left-handed hitters who can't seem to find it, especially low in the zone, and it's even better if it's on the outside corner. First pitch to Austin Riggins is high. 1 ball, no strikes. So 5 strikeouts on the night for Bivens. 4 of them swinging. And all 4 have been in the last 2. 4 of the 5 have been in the last 2 innings. As the 1-0 fastball misses down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-1 Legends here in the top of the 4th. Freedom scored their first run as Tyler Fitzgerald came home on a wild pitch. 2-0. There's another fastball down and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Bivens decided to double up on the outside fastball that didn't work for him on the 1-0. He missed even wider on the 2-0. And the 3-0 pitch is upstairs on another fastball. It's a 4-pitch walk to Austin Riggins. That's the second time Riggins has been walked this evening, and the 3rd total walk pitched by Spencer Bivens. That's the 10th strikeout on the season from Bivens, or the 10th walk rather. He has a season total 15. Runner goes on the first pitch, which is high. The throw down to second is not in time, according to Cedric Coleman in the field. And some boos and jeers emerging from the crowd here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. The fans do not like that one. So it's a stolen base for Austin Riggins. Second time a Freedom player has stole a base tonight. E.P. Reese stole second back in the 2nd inning. Ball and no strikes to the lefty Lucas Owens as Bivens comes set with a pitch. Glove at the chest. He keeps an eye on the runner at second. And he comes forward as time is called at the plate as Bivens began into his cadence. But he was held off. Might throw him off his rhythm there a bit, but he dusts some dirt away from the rubber on the hilltop, and he'll come set now with another. This one's lined back up the middle. Hairston with a glove on it. He sets and fires to first, and the side is retired. So Owens grounds into a 6-3 putout, stranding Riggins at second base. Freedom put their first run on the board. Tyler Fitzgerald came home on a wild pitch. Legends still up 2-1 And they come back up to bat in the bottom of the fourth with Nick Akins, Matt Winokur, and Dalton Cornett when baseball returns in just a few moments right here on the Legends Broadcast Network. Freedom just scored their first run back in the top of the fourth, and the bottom of the fourth starts now. Legends up 2-1 as Nick Akins, the designated hitter, steps into the box on the right side. Drew Rahm beginning his fourth inning of work. He has struck out 3 batters. He's walked 3 batters and given up 2 runs. First pitch is outside and up and away to Nick Akins, and the count is 1-0. The sun sets even further. We're greeted by a cotton candy sky. 1-0. Breaker missed down and in. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Akins, the DH, is 0 for 1. He popped up to second base. That was back in the first. 2 balls and no strikes to the righty, and the lefty Rahm kicks and fires. This is popped up high in the air to shallow center field. Second baseman Whiteman with the glove on it, 1 away. So he pops up to second a second time for out number 1 here in the bottom of the fourth. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Matt Winokur. Matt Winokur, the 5th round pick by the New York Mets in 2017. He spent 2017 to 2019 from short season A to high A. So he's been an A-ball for 3 seasons. This year, of course, minor league season was canceled. And he takes a first pitch strike on a breaking ball downstairs. 0-1. Winokur, of course, hit into an obstruction call on which Drew Ellis was tossed after hopping over the baseball, possibly preventing Simon Whiteman from making the play, the 0-1. Check swing on a called strike 2 to the outer half of the zone. It's now no balls and 2 strikes to Winokur. Winokur last night wore the collar, went 0 for 3, but he scored a run and walked. He now has 12 runs on the season. Rahm with the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. 1-2-3 punch out. Winokur will head back to the dugout on looking strikes. 2 gone. First pitch is skied to straightaway center field by Cornet, and it's caught. And the side is retired. So the Legends go down in order. In the bottom of the fourth, they still hold a 2-1 lead over the Freedom. Top of the fifth coming your way with Craig Massey, Simon Whiteman, and Chad Cedillo. Baseball back in a few moments on the Legends Broadcast Network. Welcome back into Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Andrew Murphy with you as the Legends hold a 2-1 lead over the Florence Freedom. Freedom back up to bat here in the top of the fifth inning, and leading things off is the first baseman, Craig Massey. Lefty facing the righty Bivens, who deals the first pitch, a fastball, down and in. It's skipped away from the catcher, Cornet, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Massey, the lefty, digs in, playing in towards home plate, slightly opened up stance. The 1-0. The fastball outside. 2 balls, no strikes now. Massey is 0 for 2. Struck out his first time up and grounded out back in the second. 2-0 misses well outside, a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. Bivens steps off the rubber to pick up the bag behind the mound. Working from straight away, he deals the 3-0. It's a fastball upstairs, taken for ball 4. And it's a 4-pitch walk to Craig Massey to lead things off here in the bottom of the fifth. Walk number 4, given up by Spencer Bivens. Here's Simon Whiteman, the second baseman for the Freedom. Whiteman, the righty. There's a swift pickoff move back to the first base bag. Massey back in standing up. Whiteman still waiting for a first pitch from Spencer Bivens, who's hunched in towards Cornet. Gives him the nod, and he deals. It's a fastball up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Bivens loves that fastball, but he just can't seem to control it, especially in the fourth and now the fifth inning. Give up a walk to Austin Riggins. He's walked Craig Massey. The breaking ball misses downstairs. Now 2 balls and no strikes to Whiteman. Somebody's warming up in the bullpen down the right field line for the Legends. Not sure who it is. He's got his jacket on. The 2-0 pitch. It's a called strike 1 on the outside edge. And the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Legends up 2-1 on the Freedom. Nobody out. 1 man on the bags. That's Craig Massey as a lead off the first base bag. Runner goes. The pitch is low. Cornick can't come up with it. He bobbled it in the dirt, and it's a stolen base for Craig Massey. The count moves to 3 balls and a strike. Third stolen base on the night by the Florence Freedom. E.P. Reese stole the bag in the second. Riggins stole one in the fourth, and now Massey aboard at second with a stolen base here in the fifth. Bivens from the stretch with the 3-1. It's a rocket line drive to left center field. Bounces in front of Eric Young Jr. Massey rounds the third base bag, and he'll come home on an RBI single by Simon Whiteman. And so we are tied up at 2 here in the top of the fifth at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Massey got an early jump on a hard hit line drive to left center field. And despite it being fielded cleanly by Eric Young Jr., Craig Massey had the wheels turning and came all the way around to home plate. So we're tied at 2. And a pickoff move to first by Bivens. Wants a piece of Whiteman there, who is back in the bag, standing up. Still nobody out here in the top of the fifth. Chad Cedillo, the lefty third baseman, at the plate. As Bivens comes set. The first pitch from the stretch is a fastball that misses a touch up and in. 1 ball, no strikes. Cedillo is 1 for 2 tonight. Singled his first time up in the first inning and struck out swinging back in the third. Another pickoff move back to first. It rolls away from DeJesus Jr., but Whiteman will hold up at the bag. And he'll walk the ball back into the hurler, Bivens. They'll exchange a few words. Now Spencer Bivens has given up now 2 runs through only 4 innings of work. Has not recorded an out here. Swinging a foul tip by Chad Cedillo to even up the count at a ball and a strike. Bivens has struck out 5 batters, and he's walked 4. Infield playing at double play depth with Whiteman taking a lead off the first base bag. And the 1-1. This is lifted in the air, a line drive to right center field. That'll get down. Bounces off the wall. It's fielded by Whitaker. Coming around the third base bag is Whiteman. He will score as Cedillo holds up at second base. And an RBI double to right center gives the Freedom a 3-2 lead here in the top of the fifth. And so it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. B.J. Phillips is taking the ball from Spencer Bivens. We'll tally up his numbers and come back with with a new pitcher. Freedom just took a 3-2 lead. Back in a moment. Freedom just took a 3-2 lead over the Lexington Legends here in the top of the fifth with nobody out and one man on. Spencer Bivens has been retired after 4 innings with 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 4 walks and 5 strikeouts. New pitcher Alex Hamilton deals the first one to Logan Wyatt. He fouls it away for strike 1. Alex Hamilton, the lefty, replacing Bivens, so a switch of handedness to face the Florence Freedom batters. Hamilton, 6'1", 190 pounds, out of Jackson, Kentucky, attended EKU. The 0-1 from the stretch. Curveball, 68 miles an hour. Tried to paint the back door there and buckle Wyatt's knees. It's a ball and a strike. The pitch. Fastball, called strike 2 on the outer half. Moving the count to 1-2. Hamilton, in 13 innings this season, has given up 11 hits, 11 runs, 10 earned. He's walked 7 batters and struck out 15. He last appeared on the 29th at Florence versus the Freedom, where he threw 2 1/3, giving up 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, no walks and 3 strikeouts. He is 0-1 on the season, and the 1-2 is slowly chopped back to the pitcher. Hamilton pivots to third first, but went to first for the throw, and Wyatt is called out. So there's out number 1. Cedillo advanced to third on the fielder's choice. The ball was chopped slowly to the left side on a half swing by Logan Wyatt, and Hamilton was the closest one to it. He picked it up, had a direct line to third base. He sort of hesitated and realized he wasn't going to make the throw in time, so he quickly pivoted to first and threw out Logan Wyatt. So the first pitch now to the righty Tyler Fitzgerald. A curveball missed down and in. 1 ball, no strikes. So Wyatt was put away on a 1-3 putout. Fitzgerald doubled and scored his last time up. It was the first run of the game for the Florence Freedom. He came home on a wild pitch, the 1-0. Another chopper, but foul down the third base line. 1 ball and 1 strike. Freedom have a 3-2 lead over the Legends here in the top of the fifth. Alex Hamilton on the mound now, the lefty, facing the righty Tyler Fitzgerald. 1 for 2 tonight. Straightaway stance in towards the plate. Now the 1-1 from Hamilton. Breaker moves low and outside, taken for a ball, 2-1. Hamilton comes set. Glove at the chest. He kicks and fires the 2-1. An outside fastball is taken, and now the count moves to 3-1. The 3-1 delivery. Another outside fastball, and it's a 5-pitch walk to Fitzgerald. So as he jogs on down to first, we have runners on the corners now. Cedillo 90 feet from home at third base. Fitzgerald at first. And so Hamilton, hopefully, will try to pitch into a double play with 1 away here in the fifth, as the righty Cesar Trejo steps into the box. Slightly closed off stance, very calm and composed, not a whole lot of movement. In an upright position, Hamilton, the slow toss to first base. Three to 2 Freedom here in the top of the fifth. Hamilton deals the first one. To Trejo, it's taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Hamilton taking his time in between pitches, agrees on things with Cornett. And he wheels and deals a 1-0. One is slapped foul down the first base line and over the rooftop, evening up the count at a ball and a strike. As the righty Trejo digs back in, narrow stance. He readies up for the 1-1, and Hamilton fires. Curveball. Missed well inside, but it was swung on and chopped foul down the third base line, moving the count to 1-2. Trejo 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out swinging his last time up in the fourth and flying out to center field in the second. Hamilton readies up. The leftmost half of the rubber. Time is called and he'll step off. His cornet flashing him signs with a little extra time. The righty Trejo readies back up after keeping himself loose. And the 1-2. Blooper foul up and over the netting behind home, and it's caught by a lucky fan. The count will sit at 1-2. Runners on the corners for the Florence Freedom. They lead it 2-0 over the Lexington Legends. Beautiful Friday night for a ball game here in Lexington as the sun is almost completely set. There's a multicolored sunset out past the left field foul pole. The 1-2. Chopper to the left side gets through the gap to left field. Another run will score. Cedillo comes home. Fitzgerald advances to second, and Trejo's aboard on an RBI single. The score is 4-2 Freedom, with only one away here in the top of the fifth. This is the most runs either team has scored in one inning so far tonight. Legends put up a 2 spot in the first. The Freedom battled back later in the fourth with a 1 spot. And now here in the fifth, they've put up 3 runs. Greg Massey came home on an RBI single as the first pitch to E.P. Reese is taken inside for a ball. Simon Whiteman was scored on the Chad Cedillo double. And Cesar Trejo drove in Chad Cedillo as the 1-0 as a called strike one on the outer half. Cedillo came home on that Trejo second, or Trejo single. Fitzgerald advanced to second. So 2 men on, 1 man out. Swinging a chopper. It's a high one, caught by the first baseman DeJesus, who steps on the bag for out number 2. Fitzgerald and Trejo advance to second and third on the fielder's choice, and so with 2 gone here in the top of the fifth, Austin Riggins will take his place in the batter's box. Four to 2 Freedom here in the top of the fifth. And the first pitch to Riggins, swing and a miss on an outside fastball, 0-1. Riggins' first plate appearance was in the second inning, where he drew a walk. He came up again in the fourth and walked then, and he readies up in a straightaway stance, slightly closed off, as that one is slapped foul into the first base stance. No balls and 2 strikes. Hamilton, the lefty on the mound, came in to relieve Spencer Bivens. Hamilton last played for the Bakersfield Train Robbers of the Pecos League. And what a name that is for a team. No balls, 2 strikes the pitch. Swing and a miss on an inside off-speed pitch. Freedom put 3 runs on the board. They lead things 4-2. Legends with a chance to battle back in the bottom of the fifth with Devin Hairston, Ben Revere, and Eric Young Jr. Baseball back in a few moments right here on the Legends Broadcast Network. Freedom just put 3 runs on the board to take a 4-2 lead over the Legends back in the top of the 5th. And here's the bottom of the 5th, led off by Devin Hairston, the shortstop. Drew Rahm deals the first pitch. It's a strike called on the outside corner, 0-1. Hairston, a native of Lexington, Kentucky, attended Tates Creek High School, home of the Commodores. He's slightly bent in a straightaway stance in towards home. 0-1. Bends into the lower third inside. And it's taken for strike 2. Hairston is 0 for 1 this evening. He struck out swinging his first time up in the second. And Rahm delivers the 0-2. Swing and a miss. It's a 1-2-3 punch out. Hairston bats the breeze for the second time in tonight's game. And there's one away here in the bottom of the 5th. That's strikeout number 5 on the night for Drew Rahm. Rahm has given up 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them back in the first inning. And he has walked 3 batters. So he'll face the man at the top of the order, Ben Revere, for the 3rd time this evening. Revere in a wide open stance, taking up most of the batter's box, takes a first pitch strike on the low inside corner, 0-1. Revere, also a native of Lexington, Kentucky. He attended Lexington Catholic, home of the Crusaders, I believe. As the 0-1 beans him on the shoulder, breaking ball. So Revere will walk it out to first base. As Drew Rahm hits him on the shoulder. So with Revere aboard at first, Eric Young Jr., the tying run is at the plate. Last night we saw Eric Young Jr. belt a grand slam into the left center field area. 8 combined home runs by Lexington Legends and Leyendas players last night. The first pitch to Young hits him on the shoulder as well. And a pack of guys to the left of us, about 60 of them. Do not like those inside pitches. So it didn't hit Young on the shoulder. Certainly seemed like it. He might have backed away just in time, and the count is 1-0. Revere takes second on that, what I guess will be considered a wild pitch. 1-0. It's a fastball outside. Just missed a touch. 2 balls, no strikes. And these guys are rowdy out here. It's the Epsilon Omicron chapter of Beta Theta Pi at the University of Kentucky. 2 balls, no strikes to the knees bent right-hander Eric Young Jr. Takes a fastball inside. That seemed like it should have been called a strike. But Marvin King says no, and the count moves to 3-0. Young Jr. is 1 for 2. He doubled and scored in the first and flied out to short in the third. Rahm peeps back at Revere, and the 3-0. That hits him on the hip. And so Young Jr. will take first base. I guess it didn't hit him on the hip either. As Ben Revere's at third. And if that had truly hit him, then then Revere would have had to hold up at second base to not eliminate the force out. So Drew Rahm will sit down. We've got one away. Our score is 4-2 Freedom. New pitcher coming up for the Florence Freedom. Stay with us. Jackson Owens replaces Drew Rahm for the Freedom. He deals the first pitch strike down low to Ivan DeJesus Jr. Freedom with a 4-2 lead over the Legends. DeJesus, the righty, at the plate. Drew Rahm has been retired after 4 1/3 with 2 hits, 2 runs earned, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. And the 0-1 misses upstairs for a ball. One's all across the board to DeJesus. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 away. Runners on the corners for the Legends. Ben Revere is at third base, and Eric Young Jr. is at first. And the 1-1 misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. DeJesus Jr. Walked and stole the bases last time up. That was in the 3rd. And he grounded into a 4-3 putout his first time up in the 1st. Leftward shift to the infield. The 2-1 pitch is slapped up and over the rooftop down the first base line. And the count moves to 2-2. Jackson Owens, the 6-foot, 190-pound righty from Lake Dallas, Texas. Not just Dallas, Lake Dallas. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on, chopped up the middle. Shortstop Fitzgerald with his toss to second for 1, over to first. 2, a double play. And listen to this crowd. These Legends fans do not agree with that call, as the 5th inning is ended by a 6-4-3 double play. Grounded into by Ivan DeJesus Jr. So Legends still down 4-2 against the Freedom. Freedom back up to bat in the top of the 6th with Lucas Owens, Craig Massey, and Simon Whiteman. Baseball back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Leading off the top of the 6th inning for the Florence Freedom is the left-handed hitting Lucas Owens, the catcher. Legends trailing 4-2 as Alex Hamilton throws the first pitch, and it's downstairs for a ball. Hamilton came into the game back in the 5th inning after Spencer Bivens gave up 3 runs. Here's a bloop shot to shallow center field. Revere coming in on it. Rawhide meets the mitt, 1 away. Nice little bloop shot to center. Owens, the top of Owens' bat, got a piece of that one. Sent it airborne into the outfield. Revere with a great route to the ball. Put him away for out number 1. So here's the lefty Craig Massey in his 4th plate appearance. Hamilton deals. Another low fastball, missed the zone, 1 ball, no strikes. Really trying to stump these lefties and get ahead on the first pitch with a fastball low, but it hasn't worked in the 1-0. That one's down the middle, another fastball will even up the count of the ball and a strike. Legends trailing the Freedom 4-2 here in the top of the 6th. Nobody on. Infield playing straight away, 1-1. There's a curveball, missed down and away, 2 balls and a strike. Infield playing straight away except for Drew Ellis, who's middle depth in the infield on the dirt. DeJesus, Phillips, and Hairston at first, second, and short respectively are playing on the fringe of the outfield, the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Got him to cut on the inside, and that'll even up 2 balls and 2 strikes on the count to Massey. Massey walked his last time up in the 5th. He scored on an RBI single by Cesar Trejo. Grounded out and struck out. 2-2, missed up and in, tried to get him again on that inside fastball, but he takes, and the count moves to 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Hamilton stretches out his left arm, he's looking into his catcher Cornett for the sign. Cornett setting up low and away, the 3-2. It's a curveball, slider rather, missed down and away, and it's a 6-pitch walk to Craig Massey. That is his 2nd walk of the night, and the 2nd walk dealt tonight by the lefty Alex Hamilton. Hamilton, the Jackson, Kentucky native. A lot of native Kentuckians on this Legends roster. Goes well with the theme of the Battle of the Bourbon Trail. Here's Simon Whiteman, the second baseman. Runner goes on the first pitch. It's high and away. A throw down to second. Phillips is there, but the throw was not in time. And so Craig Massey is aboard with his 2nd stolen base of the night. And the count moves to 1-0 on that fastball that began the at-bat, high and away. Simon Whiteman had his first hit of the night back in the 5th, and he takes a fastball on the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. He came around to score on the double by Chad Cedillo. Righty-lefty matchup, and the 1-1. One is sliced foul over the rooftop down the first base line, and the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Whiteman flied out in the 3rd and grounded out in the 1st, so he's 1 for 3 this evening with a run and a single. Right-handed hitter, narrow stance. That's staggered. He's playing in towards home plate. Upright in a calm and composed stance. Hamilton deals the 1-2. It's a bloop pop fly fouled up and over the netting down the first base line, and a fan's got a souvenir. Hamilton toes the rubber. Stretches out both arms. And the glove is set on his chest as he's looking into Cornett. Cornett flashing signs. And now Hamilton comes set, working from the stretch. Takes a look at the runner on second, now comes forward. The 1-2 is a fastball up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Legends trailing the Freedom 4-2 here in the top of the 6th inning. 1 away and a runner on the bags. Craig Massey just stole second base. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball up and away. No vacancy in the count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hamilton taking his time in between pitches, dictating the pace of this game as the clock approaches 9. Temperature has dropped to 69 degrees here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Hamilton with the payoff. Fastball runs low and outside, and another 6-pitch walk, this time to Simon Whiteman. It's the second time Whiteman has reached base. Second walk in a row and the third total for Alex Hamilton, extending his season-long walk totals to 10 versus 16 strikeouts. He's only had one of those. He retired Austin Riggins to end the top of the fifth inning. So here's the lefty, Chad Cedillo, with 2 runners on and 1 gone. The first pitch from Hamilton, off-speed, misses, down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Cedillo is 2 for 3 on the night. He doubled and scored his last time up in the 5th. Struck out swinging in the 3rd and singled his first time up in the 1st inning, the 1-0. There's a changeup taken on the outer half, and that'll even up the count. One's all across the board to Chad Cedillo. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 away. Legends trailing the Freedom 4-2 here in the top of the 6th with 2 runners on the bags. Hamilton keeping an eye on the runner at second, now comes forward with the 1-1. It's a curveball that bent outside of the zone downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Hamilton's been all over the place, hasn't found the zone too much with any of his pitches, really. And the 2-1 popped up. This will trail up and over the rooftop behind home plate, and the count will even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's been a tough inning so far and a slow one at that for Alex Hamilton. He was able to pitch into a Lucas Owens pop-up to shallow center field. But a long at-bat from both Craig Massey and Simon Whiteman seemed to have tuckered out Alex Hamilton, who has thus far dealt a 2-2 count to the lefty Cedillo. Sets back up in towards the plate. Hamilton from the stretch with the delivery. This is lifted in the air to left field, and it's trailing foul. It'll land into the triple play zone. And we'll do the 2-2 tango all over again. Great crowd on hand here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark this lovely Friday night. We thank you for joining us on Prep Spin and the Legends Broadcast Network. Time is called at home plate. Chad Cedillo steps out, giving Hamilton more time to select a pitch. And he does. The 2-2. Changeup missed down and away. And the count is now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hamilton with the payoff. Runners go, swing and a miss. And there's out number 2. Strikeout number 2 for Alex Hamilton. He sits down Chad Cedillo. Craig Massey and Simon Whiteman advance to 3rd and 2nd respectively. And so with 2 gone now, Logan Wyatt, the designated hitter, will step into the box on the left side. Hamilton deals the first pitch. It's a fastball right down Main Street. Instead of risking it outside or inside, both points on which he's missed quite frequently tonight. He just brought it home right down the middle, and it's 0-1. He's ahead. The next pitch is fouled up and over the rooftop behind home. Quickly 0-2. So right here, a testament to attacking the zone, trusting your defense. Alex Hamilton quickly ahead on a 2-strike count to Logan Wyatt. Lefty-lefty matchup. And the 0-2 from the stretch. Another foul ball. Into the netting down the 3rd baseline. And still an 0-2 count to Logan Wyatt. Legends trailing the Freedom 4-2 here in the top of the 6th. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. Craig Massey at 3rd, Whiteman at 2nd. Hornet sets up low and away, the 0-2. Swing and a miss on an inside fastball. There's strikeout number 3 and out number 3 on the night for Alex Hamilton. Legends still trailing 4-2 against the Freedom. They'll come up to bat in the bottom of the 6th with Brandon Phillips, Drew Ellis, and Nick Akins. Middle of the order coming up when baseball returns in just a few moments on the Legends Broadcast Network. Legends trail the Freedom 4-2 as we roll into the bottom of the 6th inning. Brandon Phillips will lead things off for the Legends. Andrew Murphy with you on the Legends Broadcast Network and PrepSpin.com. Jackson Owens retains his position on the mound. After coming in the 5th, and the first pitch to Phillips, a fastball, drifts low. 1 ball and no strikes. Phillips is 1 for 2 this evening. He singled and was stranded his first time up, and he struck out swinging. That was back in the 3rd. Reddy's back up in a wide straightaway stance. And the 1-0 from Owens. Swing and a miss on an inside fastball, a ball and a strike. Phillips, the 16-year Major League veteran. Spent 10 of those years in a Cincinnati Reds uniform. We've got a lot of folks out here tonight and pretty much every night that Brandon Phillips plays here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark, sporting Reds gear. 1-1 is a high fly ball to shallow left field. Trejo coming in on it. He makes the catch, 1 away. That was a Major League pop-up if I've ever seen one. That one had the height, just not the distance. And Brandon Phillips is retired to lead things off. And here's Drew Ellis, the 3rd baseman. Nobody on the bags with 1 away now here in the bottom of the 6th. Legends trail the Freedom 4-2. And as Ellis steps in on the right side, Owens deals the first pitch. It's sliced foul up and over the rooftop down the first base line, 0-1. Ellis in the last week or so has proven himself to be quite the power hitter. 0-1. He's taken inside for a ball, evening up the count at 1 apiece. Ellis was wearing the Leyendas uniform at Whitaker Bank Ballpark last week, and he hit 3 home runs. He hit a 2-run shot last night as well. That was his 5th on the year, the 1-1. Fastball runs outside. Hitters 2-1 count now to Ellis. Owens, the righty, looking in towards the catcher, Owens. And he comes set, drops the glove to his waist. He wheels and deals the 2-1. Just popped up foul over the rooftop behind home plate. And the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Drew Ellis looking into the black barrel of his two-tone bat, adjusts his helmet, now steps back in the back of the box, middle depth, but straight away. The 2-2 pitch. It's a breaker, tried to get him to chase low and away, but he takes, and the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ellis struck out swinging his last time up. That was in the 3rd, and he walked and was called out on an obstruction heading to 2nd. That was in the 1st. Owens with the payoff. It's taken low and in, a fastball. Awards Drew Ellis first base. It's a walk. The first of the night for Jackson Owens. So with Ellis aboard at first base, Nick Akins Sr. is at the plate. He's the tying run. Nobody has crossed the plate since the top of the 5th when the Freedom put 3 runs on the board. Craig Massey, Simon Whiteman, and Chad Cedillo crossing the plate a little earlier in this game. Owens facing Akins now, the first pitch. This is lifted high in the air to straightaway center field. It's trailing right. Riggins a few steps to his left. The rawhide meets the mitt, 2 gone. So 2 fly balls this inning, both caught for 2 outs, and now Matt Winokur will step into the batter's box. Drew Ellis is aboard on first. He was walked. So Matt Winokur will step up and try to do some damage. Legends trailing the Freedom 4-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lefty-righty matchup as Owens comes set with a pitch. Love at the belt, and he deals. First pitch, a fastball. Finds the zone on the outer half. It's 0-1. Winokur was the batter who hit into that Drew Ellis obstruction at second base. He struck out looking his last time up in the 4th. The 0-1 pitch. Another one outside, but it dropped low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Winokur the lefty, a few low and slow swings. He's hunched in toward the plate. 1-1. Lifted high in the air to left center field. 3 men going after it. Trejo comes in on it and puts the glove on it. So 3 fly balls will end things here in the 6th. Top of the 7th coming your way with the Freedom showing Tyler Fitzgerald, Cesar Trejo, and E.P. Reese. Legends trailing 4-2. Back in a moment. Legends trailing 4-2 against the Freedom as we head into the top of the 7th inning. Alex Hamilton back on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. He came in to replace Spencer Bivens back in the 5th. 4-2 Freedom. The leadoff man this inning is Tyler Fitzgerald. He takes a fastball up and away for ball 1. That's a familiar scenario. Alex Hamilton has had trouble getting ahead in the count early, but he deals a fastball downstairs, taken for strike 1. So an even count. Getting ahead in the count is just so important for any pitcher. 1-1. This is a bloop shot to right field. Winokur moving to his right. He makes the catch. 1 away. And after walking 2 batters in a row back in the 6th, Hamilton decided, you know what? I'm just going to pound the zone. And he threw a first pitch fastball down the middle to Chad Cedillo. Got ahead in the count, got him on 3 straight strikes. He struck out Logan Wyatt swinging as well. Wasn't a 3-strike punch out, but a successful matchup nonetheless for Hamilton. And the first pitch is a called strike 1 on the outside to Trejo. Legends trailing 4-2. Here in the top of the 7th. And the 0-1. Lifted in the air, might be playable. It's drifting behind home plate. Cornet threw off the mask, and it's just over the netting. And the count moves to 0-2. One away, nobody on the base paths. Trejo taking some time to keep himself composed outside of the box. And Hamilton with the 0-2. Fastball misses a touch outside and low, moving the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trejo 1 for 3. He singled and was stranded at second back in the 5th. The 1-2. Swung on, lined hard down the third base line. Trejo struck out swinging in the 4th and flied out to center in the 2nd. He's rocking the red batting gloves to match the red and black jerseys the Freedom are sporting tonight. Hamilton's deciding on one from Cornet. Now he comes forward with the 2-2. It's a curveball. Got away from him. Missed up and away. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Fastball up and away. It's a leadoff, it's 1-out walk rather to Trejo. There's the walk. A 5-pitch walk to Trejo. That'll put him aboard at first base. Only 1 away here in the top of the 7th. Tyler Fitzgerald flied out to right center field. It was caught by Matt Winokur. Now here is E.P. Reese, the right fielder. Lefty Hamilton throws. The first pitch is high. The throw down to second is a bouncer. Was on target, but slow as Trejo slid in safely. He's got a stolen base. Count is 1 ball and no strikes to E.P. Reese, who's 1 for 3 this evening. Hamilton deals. Off speed outside. Moves the count to 2-0. Reese grounded into an unassisted play at the first base bag. This is swung on and tipped foul to the netting. 2 balls and a strike. Reese struck out swinging back in the 4th and singled and was stranded in the 2nd. Sets back up on the left side. I cannot get enough of this guy out to my left, likely intoxicated, screaming, "I love the Legends." What a mood. 2-1. Fastball misses high. 3 balls and a strike. Legends trail the Freedom 4-2 here in the top of the 7th. Runner in scoring position. Trejo just stole second base. Hamilton with the 3-1. There's ball 4 upstairs. Still nobody warming up in the Legends bullpen. 2 walks in a row for Alex Hamilton. He's walked 5 batters tonight. And you pair that with 3 strikeouts, not the best look in the world. So a lefty-righty matchup now as Austin Riggins, the center fielder, will step up. Scratch that. That's Brian Dansereau pinch hitting for Austin Riggins. This one's flied to left field, caught at the track. And the throw into the infield will hold the runners at first and second. So Brian Dansereau pinch hitting for Riggins, skies out to left field, and that'll bring out Lucas Owens, the catcher, at the very bottom of the order for the Freedom. They lead the Legends 4-2 here in the top of the 7th. So the lefty Owens steps into the box. Hamilton deals the first pitch. It's swung on, blooped to shallow left field. Hairston coming in on it, makes the catch on the run to retire the side. So the Freedom strand a pair. They score 0, but they still lead the Legends 4-2. Legends need to get some work done with the bats as Dalton Cornett, Devin Hairston, and Ben Revere will bat in the bottom of the 7th. Freedom up 4-2. Legends baseball back in a moment. Andrew Murphy with you on the Legends Broadcast Network and PrepSpin.com. Legends trailing the Freedom 4-2 as we head into the bottom of the 7th inning. Dalton Cornett will lead things off for the Legends. Jackson Owens still on the mound. The righty deals the first pitch. It's sliced foul down the left field line. That'll land into the triple play zone. A nice souvenir for one of the youngsters. There's about a pack of 5 or 6 of them hawking foul balls. One of them just slammed his glove on the ground in anger. 0-1 pitch to the lefty Cornett is lined right into the glove of Cedillo at third, one away. was a hard hit ball, but just not in the right place. Cedillo was set up perfectly, and the ball landed right in his glove. Barely even moved. So Cornets retired on a line out. Here's Devin Hairston at the bottom of the order. Righty digs in, gives the plate a tap and the bat a twirl. The first pitch from Owens. Misses inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Hairston struck out swinging twice, once in the 5th and before in the 2nd. 1-0. The fastball misses up and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Hairston last night, one of the 8 home runs hit by both Legends and Leyendas players. He had a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th. 2-0. He was swinging for the fences there, and he missed on a low fastball, 2-1. Hairston is a Lexington baseball phenom for sure. In high school, his former teammates have said he's got the best hands in the region. He's a class act guy. Swing and a miss on another fastball, down and away, 2-2. Scouts have projected Devin Hairston as an above-average defensive second baseman or utility defender. And he has been crushing the ball in a Legends uniform. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The righty Owens from the stretch with the delivery. The fastball misses low, and that'll fill up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 gone, nobody on. Legends trail to Freedom 4-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. Infield playing straight away, same with the outfield. As Hairston sets up straight away, a knees bent stance on the right side. The payoff from Owens. It's a fastball, missed the zone by a foot, and Hairston will take first base. That's the second walk given up by Owens in 3 innings of 2 2/3 innings of work. Owens came in to replace Drew Rombach in the 5th with 1 gone, and he pitched into an Ivan DeJesus 6-4-3 double play. That ended the inning. So he's put 2 men on base now, both from walks, and Ben Revere, the center fielder, will step into the batter's box. First pitch, hard hit ground ball, could be 2, over to second for 1, over to first, 2, double play. That'll end the inning. So Revere grounds it to second base. Whiteman through to the covering Fitzgerald. To get 1 out, Fitzgerald fired quickly and accurately to Massey at first to retire the side. 7th inning over as the Legends go down 1-2-3. They still trail to Freedom 4-2. Freedom back up to bat in just a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. Legends just went down in order, and they still trail the Florence Freedom by the score of 4-2. Alex Hamilton returns to the mound for his fourth inning of work, and leading things off for the Florence Freedom here in the top of the eighth inning is the first baseman, Craig Massey. Andrew Murphy with you on Prep Spin and the Legends Broadcast Network. First pitch taken down and away on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. This is Massey's fifth plate appearance. He has been walked twice, he scored once, and struck out once. Lefty gives the plate a light tap. Now wields the lumber above his left shoulder, the 0-1. There's an off-speed missing down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Massey. Nobody has scored since the top of the fifth inning, where the Freedom scored 3 runs. Massey at the plate was one of those runs. Hamilton working from the windup, now the 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Marvin King at the plate hasn't been very gracious with close calls. That was one of them right there. The 2-1. Off-speed misses downstairs, moving the count to 3-1. Straightaway infield, all except for Drew Ellis, who's playing middle depth in the dirt. 3-1. That's chipped foul down the first base line, and the count moves to a full 3-2. Massey readies up, and now here's Hamilton with the 3-2 delivery. It's swung on, grounded just fair down the first base line. That rolls into the Legends bullpen. Extra bases for Craig Massey, who's headed to second. Winokur picks it up at the track, guns it into Phillips, who cuts it off, and a throw to third base. Did he get him? Waiting on the call from Cedric Coleman, or Marvin King rather. And he's safe, according to Marvin King, but P.J. Phillips is going to come out and discuss things with King. It was a well-hit ball. It trailed down the foul line as it rolled fair into, it bounced out of the Legends bullpen and near the right field corner. Winokur had the read on it. Massey is a quick base runner, so he had the wheels turning as Winokur cut it off to Brandon Phillips, who threw it into third as Massey, rounding the second base bag, slid in. It was a close call, but no steady argument from Phillips, and there's a triple for Craig Massey with nobody out here in the top of the eighth as the Freedom lead the Legends 4-2. This one's grounded to the left side. Harrison slides to grab and throw on over to first, 1 away. Massey will hold up at third base. So a leadoff triple by Craig Massey, followed by a 6-3 putout, grounded into by Simon Whiteman. Now the lefty Chad Cedillo steps in. 4-2 is our score. Freedom over the Legends here in the top of the eighth. Hamilton deals the first pitch. Swing and a miss. A late breaking slider, it looked like. Moves the count to 0-1. Nothing in 1 to Cedillo, who waits for a pitch. His time is called at the plate. He'll step out of the box. Hamilton with a little more time to decide on a sign from Cornett. Cedillo readies up now. 0-1 the pitch. Lifted in the air, infield territory, drifting right down the first base line. DeJesus Jr. sets up and makes the catch at the foul line. 2 gone. Craig Massey will hold up at third base. So Cedillo pops up down the first base line to hold Massey up at the third base bag. 2 gone now, 4-2 Freedom here in the top of the eighth. And now here's Logan Wyatt, left-handed hitter, is 0 for 4, wearing the collar this evening. The first pitch is a fastball, misses outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Fans not agreeing with that call from Marvin King behind home plate. Hamilton, glove at the chest, the 1-0 from the stretch. There's an outside fastball, nicked the outer half of the zone, 1 ball and 1 strike. Wyatt struck out swinging his last time up in the 6th, grounded into a 1-3 put out in the 5th, struck out again in the 3rd, and grounded out in the 1st, the 1-1. There's a slider to the outside edge, but Hamilton is ahead in the count for what seems like the first time in a while. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the lefty. Hamilton comes set, glove at the chest. He kicks and fires the 1-2. Swung on, lined into right field. Coming into home plate is Craig Massey, and that's run number 5 for the Freedom. So a crowd that was once rowdy on a 1-2 pitch is silenced on a line drive to right field to bring in Craig Massey, courtesy of the DH Logan Wyatt. So Wyatt aboard with at first base, 5-2 Freedom here in the top of the 8th. It's the first time a run has been scored since the 5th inning, where the Freedom put up a 3-spot. Still the most runs scored by either team in one inning tonight. The first pitch to the righty Fitzgerald. No, a pickoff move back to first, a slow toss rather, as Wyatt's back in standing up. He now takes a short lead off the bag. DeJesus is there to cover. Leftward shift of the infield. Second baseman Phillips playing near the bag. The first pitch to Fitzgerald taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Fitzgerald is 1 for 3 this evening. He hit a double and scored in the 4th. That was his biggest inning. Walked in the 5th and flied out a couple of times as the 1-0 is poked foul over the rooftop down the first base line. It's an even count at 1 apiece. 2 gone, 1 man on, 5-2 Freedom here in the top of the 8th. Righty Fitzgerald sets back up, straight away, middle depth in the box. Knees slightly bent, facing the lefty Hamilton, who's got a direct line to the runner at first. Now the 1-1. This is poked in the air to shallow right field. Winokur comes in on it and makes the catch to retire the side. Freedom put 1 more on the board. Craig Massey crossed the plate on an RBI single by Logan Wyatt. They lead the Legends 5-2. Bottom of the 8th coming your way. Legends showing Eric Young Jr., Ivan DeJesus, and Brandon Phillips. Baseball back in a few moments on the Legends Broadcast Network. Freedom just put another run on the board. They lead the Legends 5-2, and Legends back up to bat here in the bottom of the 8th with Eric Young Jr. Young Jr., the switch hitting now lefty, facing the righty Owens, takes a fastball upstairs for ball 1. Young Jr., of course, brought the Legends fans to their feet last night when he hit a grand slam to left center field. The 1-0 pitch. Swinging a foul tip into Owens' glove. It's a ball and a strike. Talked with Young Jr. today a little bit before batting practice. He was part of a press conference featuring 5 players. The 1-1 pitch to him is taken inside on a fastball, low and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Young Jr. just comes out here every day and does his thing. He's very calm and he's just very relaxed and very dedicated to coming out here and working hard and embracing the grind of being a ball player, especially this late in the year. As he takes one outside, it's 3-1. Young Jr. Saw an extra base hit his first at-bat. He had a double and scored in the first, 3-1. Once taken slightly outside, it's a 5-pitch walk to Young Jr. to lead things off here in the bottom of the 8th. But Young Jr. very dedicated, very focused, and he is just excited to be here in Lexington and play some ball with some guys who have spent time in the major leagues, but also act as a mentor to some guys making their way through things in the minor leagues, and even guys who haven't played in the minors and are grinding through indie ball year after year. So he's definitely an asset to the clubhouse and, of course, to just the team as a whole. Ivan DeJesus Jr., another guy who spent plenty of time around Whitaker Bank Ballpark, loops one into right field. Reese with a beat on it makes the catch, 1 away. DeJesus Jr. spent some time as the Lexington Legends bat boy, as his father, Ivan DeJesus Sr., was the manager of the Legends back when they were the Houston Astros affiliate. So it's been fun to have him back here after all this time. And as he flies out to right for out number 1, here's Brandon Phillips, the second baseman. Digging in, swiping some dirt away from in front of him on the right side. Takes a hefty practice swing out of the box, and now he's back in. Adjusts that signature helmet. He took the Atlanta Braves alternate helmet from the throwback uniforms, and he darkened the front of it to sort of a beige, tan, rocky-looking front, and put the Lexington Legends insignia. That one's near his head. He's thrown off his balance on half a swing. Did it hit him? Potentially. Might have caught his finger there as he's still sitting down. Legends fans not happy that Jackson Owens took that one up and in. Did not hit him. Umpire Marvin King behind home plate saying it ticked the knob of the bat. And Phillips arguing, saying it might have tipped his finger. So it's a ball and no strikes to Brandon Phillips. Eric Young Jr. on first base. He takes a lead off the bag. Massey is there to cover. 5-2 Freedom here in the bottom of the 8th. Righty-righty matchup. Owens comes set, drops the glove to his waist, and the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 92-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside. Phillips was swinging away. Phillips, of course, hit a home run last night. That was in the bottom of the 6th. There was a 2-run shot, a towering homer to left center field. Count is 0-2. That one is up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Phillips. Mistake made there on the first pitch as it tipped the knob, Brandon Phillips. So he readies back up. Behind in the count, 1-2, Owens deals. Once taken low and away, a breaking ball will even things up at 2 apiece. Brandon Phillips is 1 for 3. He singled and was stranded back in the first. He struck out in the third and flied out to left field in the 6th. Reddy's back up on the right side, bends the knees and waving the bat up and down above the shoulder. 2-2. As the runner goes, is fouled off up and over the netting behind home, and the count will remain at 2-2. Eric Young Jr. will return to first base. Some enthusiasm coming from the crowd as the man they are all here to see, Brandon Phillips, is at the plate looking at a 2-2 count. Owens from the stretch delivers the 2-2. Chopped foul down the third base line. That fastball ran inside. Phillips, of course, with 2 strikes, swinging at anything he can get near the zone. Five to 2 Freedom here in the bottom of the 8th. 1 away, 1 on the bags. Now the 2-2 pitch. Half swing. His line foul down the first base line. Phillips battling well here. He's tiring out Owens for sure. He has to be. That's what these long at-bats do to a pitcher. As the catcher, Jake Owens, Lucas Owens rather, not sure where I got Jake from, retrieves a new baseball from the home plate umpire, Marvin King. Squared away with a new baseball, and it's a 2-2 count to the righty, Brandon Phillips. Now the offering. Lifted high in the air, but foul down the third base line. Major league pop-up, my goodness. Must have hit that a mile up in the air. This must be a 9 or 10 pitch at-bat by now. Phillips battling well, and with 16 years in the major leagues, he knows how to do that for sure. 2-2, lifted high in the air, deep to left center field. Get up, baby, get up, get up! No homer, it bounces off the wall. Young Jr. coming around third, but he'll stay there. It's a double for Brandon Phillips. Phillips with a shot to the left center field wall. No homer, but a double. Puts himself and Eric Young Jr. in scoring position with only 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Business meeting on the mound among the Freedom manager, the catcher Owens, and the pitcher Owens. Scratch that, the second baseman Whiteman came in on that meeting. 1 away, 2 in scoring position. Young Jr. at third, Brandon Phillips at second. And so the righty Drew Ellis steps into the batter's box. Ellis had a 2-run shot last night. It was one of 8 total home runs hit by both Leyendas and Legends players. And he looks at the first pitch, down and away, taken for a ball. Ellis 0 for 1 with a couple of walks and a swinging strikeout. Of course, he was called out on the obstruction as he hopped over the ball that was weakly grounded to the second baseman, Whiteman. The 1-0. That is grounded hard down the third base line and foul into the grasp of a reliever in the Freedom bullpen, and it's 1 apiece. Freedom up 5-2 on the Legends here in the bottom of the 8th at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Crowd retaining itself nicely for baseball under the lights. 68 degrees as the clock approaches 10. Righty Owens peeps back at Phillips on the second base, off the second base bag. 1-1. Sails past Ellis on the outside, and he's ahead in the count now. 2 balls and a strike. Ellis the righty, straight away, upright stance, no bend in the knees, no movement at all in his stance. 2-1. Shot foul over the rooftop down the first base line, and the count will even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ellis back in now. Gives the bat a twirl. Now Owens comes set, glove at the waist. And the 2-2 delivery. Just fouled back to the net. The count will sit at 2-2. Jackson Owens trying his best not to give Drew Ellis anything he could hit. You give him a fastball on the inner half of the plate, you might as well call it gone. Righty Ellis with a 2-2 count in the pitch. Swung on, lifted deep to left field and just foul. Had the distance but not the right shape, and the count remains 2-2. Ellis back in now. It was a well-struck ball. If it were 15 feet to the right, it would have been gone. 2-2 on the way. Wanted to go around on that one, but pulled back as it sailed past him up and away, and we are full at 3-2. No vacancy in the count. One away, two men on the bags, both in scoring position. Brandon Phillips at second, Eric Young Jr. at third. Freedom up on the Legends, 5-2. Ellis Reddy's back up, leans back slightly, and he's up right now in a straightaway stance. Owens delivers, and it's a walk dealt to Drew Ellis, and so the bases are loaded. Ellis is the tying run in this 5-2 game, and the Freedom manager will emerge from the dugout. They have a talk with the pitcher Jackson Owens. So Eric Young Jr. led off, drawing a walk. Ivan DeJesus Jr. flied out to right field, but Brandon Phillips then came up and smacked a deep line drive to the left center field wall for a double. That advanced Eric Young to third base. And Drew Ellis just took ball four. And we now have Ducks on the pond with the Freedom leading 5-2 here in the bottom of the eighth. Freedom manager will return to the dugout, and here's the designated hitter, Nick Akins. Akins, the righty, 19th round pick by the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2009. 1 for 4 last night with a single and a strikeout. Batting a straightaway narrow stance in towards the plate. Owens with the first pitch. One gets away from the catcher. Eric Young Jr. comes in to home plate, and the Legends close the deficit with one more run. It's 5-3. So Young comes home on a pass ball. Phillips advances to third. Ellis over to second base. Ellis is the tying run, and Nick Akins looks at a hitter's 1-0 count. Righty-righty matchup. Owens from the stretch. 1-0 is smacked. The line drive into left field. One run is around. The other one's round to the third base bag as it's an RBI single, scoring 2 runs, courtesy of Nick Akins. We are tied up at 5. What a hit to the left field corner by the DH Nick Akins. That's his first hit of the night. RBIs number 17 and 18 for Nick Akins. His 13th hit on the season as well. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change, and as soon as we get who it is, we'll give that information to you. Legends just tied it up. Eric Young Jr. began the inning drawing a walk. After an Ivan DeJesus fly ball to right field, Brandon Phillips hit a double to left center field, advancing Young Jr. to third. Ellis got aboard on a walk, and Nick Akins just slapped a line drive into the left field corner, scoring both Phillips and Ellis. And so we are tied up at 5. And we've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Freedom. We're going to tally up Jackson Owens and get the new pitcher's info. Don't go away. We're tied up at 5 here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. We are tied up at 5. Jackson Owens has left the game after 3 innings. Here's the first pitch to Whitaker with 1 runner on. It's taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Nick Akins is aboard at first. He just drove in the 2 tying runs, and it's 5-5 with 3 runs having been scored by the Legends here in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Lifted high in the air, deep to right field, but it's trailing foul. And the count moves to a ball and a strike. New pitcher on the mound for the Freedom is Kenny Pearson. He looks in for the sign and has the one he wants. The 1-2. Well inside on a changeup. That'll move the count 2-1. Whitaker is 0 for 3. Drove into that Ellis obstruction call back in the first. Struck out looking in the fourth and flied out to left his last time up in the sixth. 2-1 on the way. It's grounded foul to the right side. It pops off the netting in front of the Legends dugout down the first base line, and the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tied up at 5 here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Matt Whitaker, the lefty, at the plate. Pearson comes set, fires, 2-2. Slider missed on the outer half of the zone, and the count is full at 3-2. Akins takes a short lead off the first base bag. Massey's there to cover. Third baseman Cedillo playing in. He's a ways away from the third base bag. 3-2. Lifted in the air. This is trailing foul down the third baseline. Cedillo heading after it, sets up in foul territory, makes the catch. 2 gone. So Akins will hold up at first base to preserve the force out. It's been a successful inning for the Legends here. Young Jr. was the first run to score. Brandon Phillips doubled, scored on that 2-run RBI from Nick Akins, also scoring Drew Ellis. And Akins waits patiently at first base to be driven in. Here's the catcher, Dalton Cornett. Cornett, the lefty, facing the righty, Pearson. Working from the stretch, and the first pitch to him is a fastball, misses up and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Cornett wearing the collar this evening, lined out his last time up to third base, flied out to center in the fourth, and grounded out on a 4-3 in the second. Now the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, sails past him high and missed the zone. 2 balls, no strikes. Owens wipes some dirt away from his position behind home plate, squats down now as Kenny Pearson toes the rubber. He's hunched in towards Owens, looking for the sign. Keeps looking back at Akins on first. He's got a short lead off the bag. 2 balls, no strikes in the pitch. Fastball runs low and in. A quick 3-0 count to Dalton Cornett, who should be able to relax. Momentum has been pushed in Cornett's favor on this hitter's 3-0 count. 2 gone and a man on. 5-5 here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. 3-0. It's a 4-pitch walk as that fastball sailed high and away and missed the zone. Akins advances to second. He is the leading run. So Devin Hairston will take his spot in the batter's box now as Owens and Kenny Pearson are discussing things on the mound. What a nail biter this is here in the bottom of the 8th. Lexington Legends putting 3 runs on the board. This is the first time the Legends have scored since the 2-run spot in the first. It's taken quite a while for the bats to rattle again, but sure enough, the Legends have found their stride late in this bottom of the 8th. And the righty Hairston sets up, knees bent straight away in towards the plate. Pearson fires the first pitch. It's a fastball downstairs, missed the zone, 1 ball, no strikes. Hairston 0 for 2, a pair of swinging strikeouts and a walk. That was his last time up in the 7th. Ready's up, wheels the bat forward towards his pitcher Pearson, who comes set, glove at the waist, the 1-0 from the stretch. It's a fastball, called strike 1 on the outer half. Ball and a strike. Pearson looking back at Akins with a hefty lead off the second base bag. Now comes forward, the 1-1. It's a breaking ball, missed upstairs, and it's a hitter's 2-1 count to Hairston. Owens calls time, and he's out to the mound to chat with Pearson. This is a real tough situation for Pearson to inherit to begin with. He started things out steadily, pitching into a pop-up into foul territory caught by the third baseman Cedillo. But dealt a 4-pitch walk to Dalton Cornett thereafter, advancing Nick Akins, the leading run for the Legends, into scoring position. 5-5 here in the bottom of the 8th. 2-1 to Hairston. Popped up in the air, infield territory. Whiteman's got a look, and he makes the catch. The inning is over. So we head to the 9th. Legends and Freedom are tied up at 5. Legends put 3 runs on the board here in the bottom of the 8th. Top of the 9th, showing for the Freedom. Trejo, Reese, and Riggins. When we return, we're tied up at 5 here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Don't go away. Top of the ninth inning, we are tied up at 5. Cesar Trejo takes the first pitch outside on a fastball, 1-0. Dealt to him by the new pitcher on the mound for the Legends, that's Austin Dubsky. A 1-0. Fastball misses away again. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Dubsky from straightaway with the 2-0 delivery. So fastball just missed the outside corner. Marvin King not letting up at all. And the 3-0. Tries low, finds the zone downstairs. 3 balls and a strike. Nice get-me-over fastball from Dubsky. Dubsky's got 2 fastballs. He's got the 2-seamer and the 4-seamer. He also throws a curveball, slider, and a changeup. Trejo, the righty, at the plate. Ready's up. In a straightaway stance, middle depth in the back of the box. And the 3-1. It's a 5-pitch walk to Trejo as the 3-1 sails outside. A fastball at 93 miles an hour. We'll put Trejo aboard with nobody out here in the top of the ninth. Dubsky replaces Alex Hamilton, who in 4 innings of work gave up 1, 2, 3 hits. Gave up only 1 run that was earned. Or 2 runs, rather, that were earned. He now faces the lefty E.P. Reese. And the first pitch to him way inside. Reese took his back leg up and lunged forward to dodge that one. It's a ball and no strikes. Hamilton walked 5 batters and struck out 3. So he's replaced by Dubsky, who's working from the stretch now. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch is chopped up the middle, back to Dubsky. Hesitates to throw to second, but he gets it on to first for out number 1. Trejo advances to second on the fielder's choice. He's in scoring position, the leading run for the Freedom. So 1 gone. We are tied up at 5 here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark in the top of the ninth. Brian Dancero, the center fielder. In his second plate appearance of the night, he came into the game to replace Austin Riggins back in the 7th. Dubsky with a close eye on Trejo at the second base bag. This one is poked down the left field line, and it's drifting into foul territory, 0-1. On the first pitch, swung on by Brian Dancero. Should mark that down in my scorecard. Dancero is 0 for 1. He flied out to left field back in the 7th inning. Left fielder Trejo with a short lead off the second base bag. Phillips playing behind the bag, now backs off slightly to his left. 0-1 is poked foul over the rooftop down the first base line. Quickly 0-2. Time is called at the plate. Cornett will head out to the mound to chat with Austin Dubsky. Austin Dubsky, we last saw him on the 2nd as the Legends played the Leyendas. He pitched 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. He's pitched in 14 1/3 total innings this season with 14 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 14 walks, and 14 strikeouts, posting a 3.77 ERA. Righty Dancero staggers his stance in the box as the righty Dubsky comes set, now delivers the 0-2. Swung on and missed. A breaking ball low and outside. Brian Dancero bats the breeze. 2 gone. Strikeout number 15 on the season for Austin Dubsky. Keeps Trejo at second base. And now the catcher Lucas Owens will dance around the box before stepping in as Cornett went back out to the mound to chat with Dubsky. He's now back behind home plate. He'll squat down now. as Dubsky toes the rubber. The runner at second, Trejo, with a lead off the second base bag. 2 outs. We're tied up at 5 here in the top of the ninth. Freedom versus Legends. Dubsky comes set, drops the glove to his waist. Runner goes on the first pitch. It's low and inside on a fastball. No throw down to third base, and Trejo steals for the second time in this game. He stole second base back in the 7th. Lucas Owens at the plate, wearing the collar 0 for 3. Flying out a couple of times, grounded out once, and walked his first time up. Dubsky with the 0-1. That's inside, taken for a strike, 94 miles an hour, mile-an-hour fastball. And the count moves to 0-2. Dubsky's 1 pitch away from taking the Legends into the bottom of the ninth. 5-5 our score here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. This crowd is biting their nails if they've got any left. Dubsky kicks and fires. That skips away from Cornet in the dirt. It'll roll to the backstop and a run will score. Trejo comes home on the pass ball. So the Freedom take a 6-5 lead over the Legends on a pass ball here in the top of the ninth. Hate to see it. You just absolutely hate to see it. Ball and 2 strikes now to Owens as Dubsky's taking his time. Pressure's off with nobody on the bags. Infield resumes play straight away. 1-2 pitch. Off speed misses inside, and that'll even up the count at 2 apiece. Owens, the lefty, readies up, staggers his stance as Cornet set up low and in. This one is skied up and over the rooftop. The count will remain at 0-2. Six to 5, Freedom here in the top of the ninth. Dubsky looking to bring the Legends back up to bat. He's dealt a 2-2 count to the lefty Owens. And he fires. This is lifted in the air down the left field line, and it drops into the stands. Or off the fence, rather, separating the stands from the triple play zone and left. Another kid slams his glove down in anger. I think that's been a recurring bit all night for that youngster. And the 2-2 pitch. Fastball 95 on the gun, ran up and in, and that'll fill things up at 3-2. Swung on, grounded to the right side. Past the reaching glove of DeJesus Jr. It rolls into right field. Tough play for DeJesus Jr. to make. He let that one slide past him on the reach. And so Craig Massey will see the plate for the 6th time this evening. Massey, another lefty, facing the righty Dubsky. 2 gone, 6-5 Freedom here at the top of the ninth. The first pitch, swinging a foul ball. It's tipped in the dirt, 0-1. Home plate umpire Marvin King out to resupply Austin Dubsky. Massey has crossed the plate twice. He hit a triple his last time up in the 8th. It was a rip-roaring ground ball. Kind of halfway between a ground ball and a line drive. It was grazing the dirt and the grass as it skipped its way into the Leyendas, or Legends bullpen. This one skied up and over the roof behind home, and it's 0-2. It was a tough ball to make a play on as the right fielder Matt Winokur picked it up near the corner, cut it off to Phillips. By the time Phillips had possession, Massey was already well on his way to third base, and the throw into the bag was on target but not in time. A big piece of hitting for Craig Massey in the eighth. 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses high at 93 miles an hour, and the count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dubsky drops the light brown glove to his belt and fires the 1-2. Runner goes. This is skied, trailing left on the infield. Third baseman Ellis with a read on it, and the rawhide meets the mitt. The side is retired. The Freedom score another run. Cesar Trejo came home on a pass ball, and they now lead the Legends 6-5. Bottom of the ninth. Legends have 3 outs to make something happen. Baseball back in a moment on the Legends Broadcast Network. We enter the bottom of the ninth here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Legends trailing the Freedom by 1. It's 6-5 as the Freedom brought home another run on a pass ball. Leading things off here in the bottom of the ninth for the Legends is the center fielder Ben Revere. Lefty-righty matchup with Alex Wagner. New on the mound for the Freedom. He deals the first pitch. It's a fastball downstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Revere's crossed the plate 1 time tonight. He walked and scored his first time up. That was in the first. Righty-lefty matchup. Revere flied out to left field in the second, was hit by a pitch and stranded in the fifth. His last time up, grounded into a double play. 1-0. Off speed, possibly a 2-seamer, misses up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Wagner, the 6'4" righty out of Westchester, Ohio. Working from straight away. Kicks back, kicks up, and deals the 2-0. It is chopped, foul down the first base line, and the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Somebody wearing an Oakland Athletics hat just brought a cat into the stadium. No, that's a dog. Oh, my God. That's a dog. It's a very small dog. It's not a cat. Two balls and a strike to Ben Revere. Now the pitch. Inside fastball, moving the count to 3-1 again. Revere can take a breather. Then he steps back in now, opening up his stance on the left side. Very active batting stance. And the 3-1 is lined in the air to the gap between right and center field. It gets down, and there's a leadoff single for Ben Revere. Here's the tying run. Catcher Owens out to speak with Wagner as Eric Young Jr. prepares himself for his next plate appearance. It's a well-hit ball to right center field by Ben Revere. Placed perfectly in the gap between Dansereau in center, and Reese in right. Freedom leading the Legends 6-5. Revere is the tying run on first base. Eric Young Jr., the left fielder, a chance to make some things happen with nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth. Switch hitting lefty now facing the righty Wagner, who comes set in the stretch. And the first pitch. Swing and a miss. He hacked for the fences and missed on an inside off-speed pitch. 0-1 to Young Jr. Young Jr. walked and scored as one of the three runs scored in the 8th inning. He walked in the 5th, flied out in the 3rd, and doubled and scored in the 1st. Wagner hunched in toward Owens. Peeps back at Revere with a short lead off the first base bag. 0-1 the count to Young. And now the pitch. Swung on, poked foul into the seats down the third base line. Somebody caught it on the bounce, and the crowd goes nuts. It's 0-2 to Young Jr. He's behind in the count on that foul ball. Wagner looking in, now looks over at Revere. Time is called as the righty Wagner steps off the rubber, now steps back on. Young Jr., long lean backward, now readies up in a knees bent stance on the left side. 0-2, well inside, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball will move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Young Jr. gives the plate a tap and pinwheels the bat. A few low and slow swings. He perches it above his left shoulder. Righty Wagner comes forward with the 1-2. This is blooped the other way, but it's fouled down the left field line. Wagner toes the rubber. Shaking out his right hand. Glove on his left hip. Now comes set. 1-2, misses well inside. Another fastball, evening things out. Add 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes to Eric Young Jr. Wagner comes set, glove at the waist. Now the pitch. That's a high fastball, filling up the count at 3-2. Ben Revere, center fielder, takes a lead off the first base bag. Young Jr. waits patiently. This is Wagner's game. He is dictating the pace. 6-5, Freedom to 3-2. Swung on and blooped into the glove of the first baseman for out number 1. So that advances Ben Revere to second base. And here's Ivan DeJesus Jr. with one away and a runner at scoring position in Ben Revere. He is the tying run as the Freedom hold a 6-5 lead over the Legends. Righty-righty matchup now. First pitch, a low fastball misses down outside, rather. 1 ball, no strikes. Revere taking a lead off the second base bag. Nobody there for Wagner to throw to. 1 ball, no strikes, the pitch. And one's inside and low. 2 balls, no strikes. Six to 5 is our score. Freedom over the Legends. Legends have the tying run on second base. Two-0 on the way. Half swing. Chopped foul down the first base line. 2 balls and a strike. DeJesus Jr., the righty. Ready's up. Straight away. Shoulder width stance. Leaning the bat out in front of his right shoulder. Now holds it above. 2-1 on the way. Launched into foul territory. Drifting into the stands down the first base line, and it's 2-2. As Wagner steps off the mound, removes his cap, and keeps peeping back at Ben Revere. Two balls and 2 strikes to the righty, Ivan DeJesus Jr., the pitch. Curveball, missed a touch, tried to hang it high, and that'll fill up the count at 3-2. Tying run is on second base, and Ben Revere. And the 3-2. Slapped foul well over the rooftop down the first base line, and Ivan DeJesus Jr. doing a darn good job of wearing down Alex Wagner. Who's got plenty of time to spare, deciding his pitch from Owens. He comes set now. No coverage at second with Revere off the bag, the payoff. Poked in the air again, foul over the rooftop. Only 1 gone here in the bottom of the 9th. Freedom leading the Legends 6-5. Full count, 3-2 to DeJesus. Brandon Phillips is on deck. The payoff. Lifted in the air to straightaway center field. Riggins going back, and he makes the catch at the track. Revere tags up and heads to third base. And the applause you're hearing now is for Brandon Phillips. Who's got a man 90 feet from home plate, and Ben Revere was pushed there on the fly ball to center, hit into by Ivan DeJesus. Wagner, the righty, removes his cap to wipe the sweat from his brow. Phillips looking to do some damage. Time is called. Phillips out of the box. Eyeing down his pitcher, Wagner. Saying, take as much time as you need. 6-5 Freedom. Ben Revere 90 feet from home here in the bottom of the ninth. Phillips readies up, as does Wagner. And a direct line to third, the first pitch. Swing and a miss at a fastball down the middle. Phillips pulled for the fences there. If he had lowered his bat just a little bit, we would have had a ball game. Nothing in one on that big cut and miss by Brandon Phillips. And the 0-1. Taken low for strike two. Found the lower third of the zone down the middle, 93 miles an hour from Wagner, who's one strike away from giving the Freedom this 6-5 victory. Phillips steps back in. Oh, 2 pitch. Taken high for a fastball. A ball, rather, on a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wagner readies up, drops the glove to the belt. And the 1-2. Popped up, pinballed off the front of the awning, and it rolls down the netting, and a lucky fan's got a souvenir. Phillips waits, rotating the bat in and out of his right hand. Now he wields it above his right shoulder. The righty, Wagner, with the 1-2. Poked foul and into the stands down the first base line. Phillips wearing him down. Swinging at anything he can get near the zone. Freedom leading the Legends 6-5. Ben Revere on third base. He is the tying run. Now Wagner selecting a sign from Owens. He comes set. The 1-2. It gets past the catcher. Revere slides into the plate to tie it up. We are tied up at 6. Wagner choked on one, well up and in. Startled Phillips, who backed away. It rolled to the backstop, and Revere had plenty of leeway to come home. It's 6-6. I have no fingernails left. This one is coming down to the wire. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If Phillips can't make anything out of this one, we head to the sudden death 10th. Wagner with the 2-2. Swung on, lifted high in the air to left center field, and that one is, no, he missed the catch. He missed the catch, and Phillips is in at second base with a double to keep the Legends alive here in the bottom of the ninth. Left fielder Trejo came in on that one near the wall. Tried to get fancy with it on the slide. It popped out of his glove, and Phillips was into second base, standing up. Meeting on the mound among the Freedom manager, Alex Wagner, the pitcher, and the catcher, Lucas Owens. Tied up at 6. Ben Revere came home on a pass ball to tie this game up here in the bottom of the ninth, and Brandon Phillips belted one out to left center field. Hit a towering double there earlier in this game. That was back in the 8th. And so Phillips is aboard at second base, and Drew Ellis has a chance to be a hero with 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth. Six to 6 our score here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. And the first pitch. Skips away from the catcher. Phillips skips his way to third. He's just playing games at this point. As that one missed, skipped away from Owens, it's 1 ball, no strikes to Drew Ellis. Alex Wagner, the righty, in a shaky situation here. Wagner with the 1-0. Swing and a miss, foul tip rather, into the glove of Owens. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. Nice outside movement there on the pitch to the righty. Ellis got him to chase and evens up the count. Ellis calls time at the plate. Wagner steps behind the rubber, adjusts the brim of his black Florence Freedom cap. Now toes the rubber and leans in towards Owens for a sign. Ellis in an upright, straightaway stance on the right side of the plate. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Cut for the fences there on a low fastball, and it's now 1-2. Looked like a cutter there. Some movement down and away. We are tied up at 6 here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. If Ellis can't do anything here, we head to the sudden death 10th. Ball and 2 strikes. Wagner with the pitch. Sails past Ellis high, and that'll even up the count. 2's all across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone. Brandon Phillips, 90 feet from home plate. All it would take is a single here. And Drew Ellis is our hero tonight. The 2-2 offering. Swung on, lifted to left center field, into the gap. It drops between the 2. Head home, Brandon Phillips. Drew Ellis, with a single to left center field, secures this victory for the Legends, 7-6. Holy moly! Listen to the crowd. Oh my goodness. Final score is 7-6 Legends on a single to left center field by Drew Ellis. I'll tell you what, on a 2-2 count, you hit a ball that well, in a tie game in the bottom of the ninth, you get the MVP for sure. Drew Ellis will take home that accolade tonight. Brandon Phillips as well, coming in to keep things alive, getting on with a towering double to left center field. He loves that left center field gap. And you know what? I think he's going to share the MVP tonight with Drew Ellis. That took the efforts of both of them for sure. Both disciplined hitters able to work well with the pitches they were given to by Alex Wagner. Absolutely wore him down and came out on a 7-6 victory. So the final score is Legends 7, Freedom 6. Legends with 7 hits, Freedom with 9. No errors were committed in the field. And so we'll do it all over again tomorrow night at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Legends versus Freedom. First pitch is at 6:45. That's going to do it for us here at the Legends Broadcast Network. From our producer, William Warfield, our board operator, Jack Haynes, our home plate cameraman, Joe Allen, I'm Andrew Murphy, wishing you a good rest of your night. So long, everybody.